You blow it! Shut the fuck up!
I can lay you out and fill your mouth with your mother's feces.
not necessarily lay a foul tongue on me, my friend. I could get upset. Things could get out of hand.
All right. Welcome everybody to another BDA Boxing podcast. Broadcasting to you live from the true north. This is your friends, the BDA, and I'm glad everybody could be on board for this one. Flying solo tonight. Bit of a late night stream. Bucho did one in the in the afternoon. Quite surprising to see him up at that hour. Usually he's sleeping at that hour. Or slipping off. Fucking hangover. So I was surprised he did one at that hour. Then I was looking at the boxing today and I said, what do I want to do? Do I want to watch the boxing or do I go on the air? Do I broadcast and see what happens? And I decided, you know what? I'm gonna go on the air. So I'm glad everybody is out there joining us on the airwaves. It's been a while since I've been on the airwaves. So shout out to everybody in the chat room right now. Azzy, Rod, Guerrero de la Info, Apology Man, Canelo giving my fight, and many more to come, I am sure. So thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll continue talking about boxing as the night goes on. I might open the phone lines. And let some people in. See if the freaks come out at night. Been wanting the freaks to come out. Nobody calls. No freaks call. You know what? I'll put up the number right away. Ah, shit. I gotta put it over the chat. Now, you know what? I'm gonna put it... Because Bucho keeps saying that he wants us to see the Patreon and the Super Chat donors. But I'll put the number right up there once it's time. So shout out to everybody. Who's saying that, are there any... Oh yeah, Canelo, shout out to Canelo says, are there any fights today? Well, wouldn't you know it, I'm looking at the ESPN schedule here. First of all, Clarissa Shields versus Christina Hammer. I understand that's a big fight for female boxing, but hey, listen, I'm a hardcore boxing fan. I ain't that hardcore. Sorry. There is the zone fight. Somebody mentioned that in the chat room. Jaime Munguia versus Dennis Hogan. It's a bit of a tune-up there for Munguia. In order to beat Munguia, you have to have world-class speed or world-class power and boxing skills. If you're just a guy that's average, average boxing skills, average power, average speed, you're not gonna beat this guy because he's gonna overpower you. Also on the undercard, Patrick Teixeira takes on Dormedes Potes. I'd love to know where that guy's from. Dormedes. Dormedes. Is that Dormedes? Like dormir? I think he's sleeping. Hold on, let's check this guy out. He must be from Spain or from Portugal or somebody with that. No, he's from what? Venezuela? Colombia. Barranquilla, Colombia. Goddamn weird ass name. I'll tell you that much right now. Alright, let's go back to the schedule here. So that's on the zone. Patrick Teixeira versus Dormedes Potes. Diego de la Hoya. It's been a while since you would expect him to come up at some point, step it up, but apparently not. Caleb Truax on Sauce Sports taking on Peter Quillen. It's a nice little fight right there. Peter Quillen did beat Gillon Love, so he's in a bit of a come-up. And Sergey Devryanchenko versus Jack Culkay. That's the fight I want to see tonight. Might be playing already, or it might already be on. Anyway, listen, worst case scenario, I'll catch it tomorrow. It's been a while since I've been on the air with you guys, so I'd rather be here than watch that one fight, because that's really the best one. And then, of course, next week we have Terence Crawford versus Amir Khan. Now, for the people that were asking, because we did who was it? Was it Apology? Was Apology Man there? I think it was Apology, John Gonzalez, Cameron, Stu, Pete Stamas, Gonzalo, Johnny Boy, Bucho, and myself. We were watching some YouTube videos on a platform called Rabbit, and we were just commenting on the fights. And so we watched some of the Terence Crawford versus Gamboa highlights, and we're all just throwing our 2 cents in regards to how Khan is going to do against Terence Crawford. So we're going to chop that video up. I'm in the middle of chopping it up, and we're going to put it up on BDA Live. so that you guys can enjoy it. What else am I gonna do? Oh yeah, so don't forget, subscribe to BDA Life, subscribe to BDA Boxing, this regular channel. Anyway, the guys listening right now at this hour, they're the hardcore, they're already subscribed. But for anybody that's new, subscribe to BDA Boxing, BDA Boxing Live, which is our secondary channel where we post clips and analyze fights. And don't forget to check us out on Spreaker, iTunes. You can download the podcast episodes there. Don't forget to check out our Patreon page or PayPal page. Donate to the cause. Spread the message, the BDA gospel. And so those are the plugs that Bucho forces me to tell. And you got, I agree. I do have to tell those plugs in order, if we want to have more people coming in and enjoying the show. So that's about it. So Terence Crawford, Amir Khan next week. That's the fight I want to talk about. I will also read a couple of comments right now. All right, what are people saying in the chat room? Zapata Boxing shoutout says Canelo weather era. Nopal Castellano says, who won the old Mexican style standoff? Apology Man says Triple G beat Canelo twice. Zapata Boxing says Triple G equals Mexican style. Canelo says thank you, apology. As he says Munguia will never fight anymore. Can somebody in the chat room confirm who was it? You sick bastards. One of you sick bastards. I want to know which one of you came up with the nickname Goro for Munguia. Because he does. When I looked at Goro and the close-ups, and I said, God damn, that guy does look like Goro. I want somebody to take credit for it, and I want the people in the chat room to verify whether that person who takes credit for that really did come up with the nickname, and we'll figure something out, some special shout out, or we'll put that person in the BDA Boxing Hall of Fame. How about that? Apology Man says, wasn't it you, BDA? No, it wasn't me, Apology. It wasn't me. I wish it would have been me. Man, I would put that on my mantle. I would put that on my grave. That would be my epitaph. Uncle Bonaparte says, ha ha ha, Goro. As he says, Munguia is so protected, he makes Wilder look brave. Yeah, right now they're not matching him up against tough opposition. That Japanese guy that he fought on his last fight, he was tough. But he just didn't have the skills to really put it together. Canelo says, in the new Mortal Kombat game, Goro is dead. Very telling for Munguia's future. They're still making Mortal Kombat games? Jeez. Apology Man says, BDA, it was you. Okay, Apology Man, if it was me, why wouldn't I take credit for that? Why wouldn't I take credit for that gem? Believe me, I'd like to take credit for it. I don't know why you're fighting me on this, Apology. When I invite you on the hangout in a couple of minutes, I'm going to let you have a piece of my mind. What do you think about that? Yeah, son of a bitch. Where is that sound? Ah, fuck, I used to have the sound, but yeah, son of a bitch. Robert De Niro.
Cock whores.
No, that's not it.
And you got your head, because she got a great ass.
God damn it. Oh, shit. Shouldn't take the Lord's name in vain in that aspect. I did want to say something. I see you motherfuckers in the chat room talking about Canelo Jacobs, and I didn't want to get into that straight away. But I go where the flow takes me and where the wind carries me, and so I got something ready here. According to boxing scene, I should say, they've done the 30-day weigh-ins. Canelo Alvarez coming in at 168.2, if that matters, and Daniel Jacobs at a whopping, and I mean whopping, 175.4. This motherfucker is outweighing Canelo right now. My God, can you believe that? By 7 pounds. Well, actually, if you subtract that's 0.2, 0.4, it might not be 7, but this guy is a big dude, and Canelo's no skinny motherfucker. The fact that Jacobs is weighing more than him right now, and we're 1 month away, right? It's gonna be on the Cinco de Mayo weekend, the fight. So hold on a second, let me just double check and triple check. Yes, Saturday the 4th of May. So we're less than a month away. And this fucking guy comes in at 175. So he's got 15 pounds to lose. Now I know when you're 31, 32, or however old Jacobs is, you can pull that off. Right? You can pull those type of shenanigans off. But at what I gotta wonder at what point it's gonna catch up with him. And you gotta remember, this is a guy that survived cancer. Maybe he's on chemo right now. Maybe that's what he does. The last month he goes on chemo again. Maybe that's how he found out he could lose weight. He just hooks himself up on the fucking machine and the weight goes off. Might just have found Jacob's secret. And all right, so I'm gonna skip the photograph of Canelo because for some fucking reason this guy insists on taking pictures of himself during the 30-day weigh-in, and he's always in his underwear, and he's always got a bulge which you cannot ignore. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to look at it, but it's right there in front of you, man. I don't know what's wrong with Canelo. I think he's a bit of a, I think he's got some voyeurism in him or something. Not voyeurism, exhibitionism. I think he's got an exhibitionist streak and he likes to show off his bulge, and I don't like it. All right? And I'm going to do something about it. You believe me. So, Boxing says both boxers passed the pre-weigh-in 30 days prior to this mega combat. All right, how many fucking times mega combat? Call it a mega fight, but don't call it a mega combat. Anyway, pre-fight weigh-ins are taken at the 30, 14, and 7-day mark prior to the fight, recognized by the WBC. The sanctioning body requires them in order to prevent sudden dehydration that causes damage to boxers. All right. So let's take a look at a picture of Jacobs from the 30-day weigh-in. You see there 175.4. Actually, I don't think you can see it because it's not clear enough, but it says in the photo that I'm looking at, the resolution is good enough, and it says on the digital scale 175.4. And here it looks cut. So you have to wonder if the week of the fight might, just might, take its toll on the guy. I want to hear what people had to say in the chat room. Virtuoso, shout out to Virtuoso, says, I think Jacobs is going to be weight drained. Insanity Cassidy, shout out to Insanity, says, the chemo machine takes a toll on his body, no doubt, ages it for sure. Apologies, I don't think Zapata, I don't think so, Zapata. 168, it's Canelo's max. They're talking about which weight Canelo can max out at in his career. Zapata Boxing says, what the fuck, BDA? Canelo says, this is where Chris Algieri steps up. The Fight Scout says, Canelo wears those padded crotch underwear. he might just, that was an old trick in the industry when you did photo shoots. But then when you had to take those fucking trousers off, there were no tricks. You couldn't cheat your way through that. Nopal says, Jacob's lacy ways are why he couldn't do the second day weigh-in versus LG. Pavel says, ooh, shout out to Pavel. That's an old picture, BDA. Oscar the Lawyer retweeted it. Apology man says, Zapata, BDA's coming out. Sort him out. Jason Bourne says, Canelo likes taking pictures with a hard on. Zapata Boxing says, BDA, it's the coke, bro. Your eyesight's got you peeking. Ha ha ha. I don't do coke, man. It's not my thing. Apology man says, Jacobs will be drained. As he says, Canelo is clean. Haha, you see, that was a pun. Instead of clean, he said clean. Insanity Cassidy says, no doubts, Jacobs is allegedly on the juice, like he was versus Triple G. Jared Duffy says, Canelo looks thicker because he's shorter, but Jacobs is taller and naturally larger. Well, here's the thing. If they were weighing the same thing right now, because Jacobs, they have him listed as 5'11". He looks way taller than that. Especially when he fought Golovkin. And I know it's because Golovkin fights crouching down. But Jacobs, believe me, he's got to be like 6 feet, 6'1". And Canelo's, what, 5'8.5"? Because they say 5'9", but, you know, they're exaggerating. Just like I did in the industry. And so Jacobs is not only taller, he's also bigger. He's bigger than Canelo. Can you believe it? That's the thing that I was looking forward to. I was looking forward to seeing how big, who was going to have the weight advantage. Right now, it's clear that it's Jacobs. Unless Canelo is somehow lying about his weight, which I don't think he can do to the WBC. Zapata says, Jason using his white privilege. If he was a black fighter, he would be in jail. Zapata Boxing says, Canelo equals white privilege. Jared Duffy says, BDA, talk more about the industry. Those days are long gone, man. I found warmth and salvation through my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And so I don't want to talk about the past. Apology Man says, Canelo is a wimp with the rehydration clause, diva like Floyd. Oh! Apology calling out Canelo. Jason Bourne says, Canelo has plenty of white privilege. Okay, why are we talking about white privilege? Canelo says, does Jacobs get KO'd? We know he will lose on the cards. I'm not convinced about that. I don't think he completely loses on the cards, hey, remains to be seen. We'll talk about that more as the night goes on. Meanwhile, let me just prop up a couple of the special effects here, because I don't like how they're not jumping out from the screen. There we go. Alright. Let's see what else. Zapata Boxing says that's racist, Johnny. Oh, Bucho in the chat room. Shout out to Bucho. Nopal says the Ranch Mafia is right here. Yeah, the Ranch Mafia. Jared Duffy says, I like Christian BDA, unironically. You say that like it's a bad, like you're not supposed to like Christian BDA. First of all, you're not supposed to like Christian BDA. You're supposed to love Christian BDA. Alright? And I'll send the Archangel Gabriel on over to your house while you're sleeping tonight. And he's gonna really make you see the light, if you know what I mean. The Fight Scout says HBO and their Eastern European agenda. Oh, come on, are we gonna get into that? El Tlacuache, says Nopal Castellanos. Damn, those Tlacuaches are fucking ugly animals, let me tell you something. When I used to live in Mexico, you wouldn't see them running around, but I did see one that'd been run over by a car. And it was just laying there with its mouth open, just like its teeth going, you know, it's like, damn. Ugly little creatures. But they are creatures of the Lord, and so you have to love them and respect them. Alright. So that was the thing about Canelo. The 30-day weigh-in. I was surprised that Canelo is actually weighs less than Jacobs, but it is what it is. By the way, real quickly, because 126 pounds, the 26-pound division, featherweight, remains one of my favorite divisions. I think it's got a lot of potential. And even if some guys have losses or imperfect records, nevertheless, they would make for highly entertaining fights. That being said, something caught my ire a little bit earlier today when I was reading the news. Look at the headline. Frampton jabs at Leo Santa Cruz and says, that fucker won't fight me. Well, why would he fight you? He already beat you in the last fight. And you just lost your fight against, who was it, Warrington in Frampton's last fight? So I don't understand how he thinks he deserves a fight against Santa Cruz. Now, yes, granted, Frampton did rematch Santa Cruz after he beat Santa Cruz in their first fight. But you get that, come on. I mean, Santa Cruz, we hope that the PBC is going to be matching him up with Gary Russell Jr. once Gary Russell Jr. comes out of hibernation. Because, you know, this motherfucker, he's like the monster from Jeepers Creepers. He only comes out every 2 centuries or something to fight. And so, at this point, the Santa Cruz versus Gary Russell Jr. is the fight to make. Frampton, I still think he's pretty good. I don't jump on the bandwagon of people that say that he's finished, he's shot, he still has a lot left. But he needs to get himself a couple of good wins. Rebuild himself, get his confidence back, and then he can start talking about a rubber match against Santa Cruz. For the meantime, just get back on board and leave Santa Cruz alone. Pavel says, did you see any chupacabras? Never saw the chupacabras. But I did see the devil on a lonely highway called alcoholism. But we'll talk about more of that as the days go on. Zapata Boxing says, Matlix has a chula cabra in a cage. Okay, Pavel. What the fuck? They're talking about chupacabra. Canelo says, HBO had an Eastern European agenda, but those same fighters that HBO promoted are still top 10 pound fighters. Yeah, well, they're talking, you know, Bucho opened up a can of worms with his whole Eastern European agenda. Showtime equals the African American agenda, says Johnny Boy. Now, see, I don't go for that. I don't go for this racial division talk. I really don't. I'll tell you what I do go for. The Crawford versus Khan fight. Ooh-wee. Let me tell you something right now. I am looking forward to that one. I was re-listening to that call, by the way. Fucking Southern guy. I'm not gonna answer when he calls. Let me tell you that right now. I'm starting to talk like him, too. I started getting borrowing his cadence. Anyway, I wanted to say, Khan versus Crawford. Say what you want about Khan's chin or lack thereof. This, my friends, is a much better fight, at least on paper, than Garcia versus Errol Spence. I think we can all agree with that, right? And to my surprise, Amir Khan has reunited himself with the king of the creeps, Virgil Hunter. And Virgil Hunter really, we talk shit about him here just because we like to have fun. And he's a bit of a weird character in the boxing world. But you have to give Virgil Hunter credit for trying to tighten up Khan's defense, his technique, trying to get the best out of Amir Khan, because Amir Khan is a highly, and I mean highly talented fighter. You don't see hand speed like his that often. The fact that he was a good amateur, he had a perfect style for the amateurs, by the way. I'm surprised he didn't win the gold medal. He did get beat by a Cuban, right, in the gold medal round, and then he beat him in the pros. Oh no, sorry, I think they had a rematch as amateurs right before Khan turned pro. I believe, somebody correct me on that. But Khan was able to take that amateur style of his and really have a lot of success in the professionals. He didn't adapt 100%, which is why you've seen him lose a couple of times. But he's a very dangerous fighter, man, with those in and out movements, incredible hand speed, flashy hand speed, really the type of hand speed that gets the judges on his side. But the question is, how badly dented is his chin? I mean, the guy's 32, but he's an old 32. But he has a better resume than Crawford right now. This is the best welterweight that Crawford's going to be facing. And though Khan doesn't fight quite like as aggressively as what's his name? The Australian, Jeff Horn. That's exactly why I think he's going to give Crawford a harder fight. Now, Nopal says, why are you hyper-boasting Khan? I'm not hyper-boasting. I'm telling you his strong points. I'm not going to just focus on the bad points, because I do think he has a chance of hitting Crawford clean and making it a hard fight for Crawford. Now, full disclosure, I got to take my lumps on this one. I did think also, I predicted rather, that Garcia was going to land on Spence early in the fight. And he couldn't even fucking do it. So, take what I say with a grain of salt. That being said, the circumstances here are a little different. For starters, Khan and Crawford are about the same size. I think Crawford has slightly larger reach, and Khan is slightly taller. So they're essentially the same category, division, weight-wise. It's not a midget against a guy that weighs 175 pounds. Second of all, Khan has faster hands than Mikey Garcia. So I think that's going to be a good fight. Watch, and listen, I'm going to post that video. When we were watching the Crawford-Gamboa highlights, Gamboa was piecing Crawford up. I had forgotten how easily Gamboa was tagging him up. It was only when Crawford decided to use his reach and kept the midget Gamboa at bay that Gamboa couldn't touch him. But then again, Henry Lundy was touching Crawford up. Those fast hands seem to give him trouble. Now, some people can say, well, fast hands give everybody trouble. Yeah, but not when you're supposed to be a pound for pounder like Crawford is. Anyway, we'll see that fight. Let me tell you something. It's going to be an interesting fight. People saying, Fight Scout says, BDA and his horrible prediction theory videos. I haven't even made a theory prediction video on that fight, but it's coming. Trust me. Bucho says, BDA is paged by Uncle Al. J.R. Duffy says, I'll hit you out on Facebook. I don't know who he's talking to. Johnny Boy says, whose vagina is more beat up? Jessica Shoeshine or Floyd's? Oh, come on. Carneval, Precise, shout out to Precise, says, Virgil Hunter was touching Khan up. With that creepy voice of his, Virgil Hunter. You got to get in there and you're going to stop him. You're going to stop him. All right, shut up. Zapata Boxing says, BDA getting that good old Uncle Al check. The Fight Scout says, apology man, it's not that Khan circles, is that he jumps in and out when he punches, which means that his flurries have a definite start and stop point. That's one of the mistakes he makes. That's one of the things he should have corrected a long time ago. But I'm telling you, hand speed alone, his footwork alone, and if he comes in with stamina, because I'm going to tell you, that's the other thing about Amir Khan is I really do respect his stamina. I haven't ever seen a fight, an Amir Khan fight, where he's exhausted at the end. 12th round, he's always letting his hands go as if it's the first round. That's very impressive to me. And so the hand speed, the boxing skills, and the footwork and the stamina, it's not going to be easy for Crawford. Unless, again, he surprises everybody and shows us world-class, super mega fucking Lord of the Rings boxing skills. Zapata Boxing says, touching can be a sensitive word here and this platform where all these horn dogs. Fightska says, LOL, Johnny Boy, by the way. Alright, so yeah, Khan is back with Virgil Hunter. That surprised me. And 32 years old, American. It seems like he's been around for longer. But good luck to him. He's gonna need it against Terence Crawford. The thing I don't like about Khan is, again, talking about now his deficiencies, he lowered, remember what happened against Canelo, right? He lowered his hands to protect the body. But he didn't just lower them. He stretched his arms out downward. And that's how he was able to get tagged and iced. And it happened in his last fight against Samuel Vargas too. Now Vargas, you gotta give him credit, he's been adding some wrinkles to his game. He's not a bum. But the fact that that Khan is getting dropped hard by Vargas doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence that he's going to be able to take a shot from Crawford, who has faster hands and much better skills than Vargas's. All right? So that's what I want to talk about Khan there. There's also an article on Boxing Scene where he says that people are jealous of him. Yeah, listen, Khan, forget about what people are saying. You focus on your fight. You got enough on your plate right now. He's fucking worrying about what people think. Come on. All right. What else? Oh, yeah. I want to show you something on Boxing Scene here. I went all the way down on the Boxing Scene, and it says, see here, Sergey Kovalev. Right? There's Sergey Kovalev's name. And right over that headline is Christina Hammer, who says, my goal is to beat Clarissa Shields badly. Well, I was reading it quickly. I was scanning the page quickly. And during my scanning, I thought that it said Sergey Kovalev says, my goal is to beat Clarissa Shields badly. I thought Kovalev was saying he wanted to beat Clarissa Shields. I don't know why that makes me laugh. Maybe because Kovalev, it sounds like something Kovalev would say. But, fucking beating up women. Then again, some people, I know John Gonzalez in the chat room would say that Clarissa Shields isn't all that much of a woman. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. John Gonzalez said that in the Hangouts chat room. So
Shut up! Shut the fuck up, man!
Alright, I'll shut up.
What am I, a fucking retard, man? Am I a fucking retard? Huh?
It's Bucho on Coke, by the way. So where was I? Oh yeah. Kovalev versus Anthony Yard. The purse bid begins. They're not sure if they're gonna fight yet, but they are taking this to a purse bid. The WBO apparently is up on their usual shenanigans. So Kovalev versus Yard, and I've been hearing some people, been checking out some YouTube videos. Some people think Yard is gonna school Kovalev. Now listen, anything's possible. I still remember when Mayweather, only 21 years old, a couple of professional fights under his belt, was able to beat the much more experienced Genaro Hernandez. So it's not just because you haven't beaten anybody doesn't mean you can't step it up. That being said, is Anthony Yard a young Floyd Mayweather? I don't think so. So I'm surprised with people saying that Yard is gonna school Kovalev. So there's that. Teofimo Lopez says he wants to be ringside for Lomachenko versus Krola, which is going to be taking place, 2 weeks from now? And he's going to be fighting on April 20th, which I think is the same day as Lomachenko versus Krola. He's going to be taking on Eddie Statley. Oh no, that's going to be on the Crawford Khan pay-per-view undercard. And Teofimo Lopez, it seems like he wants that Lomachenko fight. So I'm assuming, since Lomachenko doesn't have that many options left in terms of big names, I think Uncle Bob is going to want to match up Lopez against Lomachenko. Too much too soon? Or maybe Lopez and his father are quite confident that they can take on the Ukrainian? I don't know. We'll see. But apparently Lopez is itching for that fight. He's talking about it. And we'll have to see whether that fight actually takes place. And I'm curious, do you guys think too much too soon? Or is it worth the risk? Because again, Lomachenko, he might not be the type of puncher that ruins you, but he is the type of fighter that can take your soul away because he beats you so convincingly that it shakes you to your very core, your foundation. He takes away people's confidence. So I'm not sure if this is the right move. Then again, Lomachenko doesn't really have that many options. And if he does take on Lopez, then that means that we have to put the Tank Davis fight on the back burner. Not that I think it was ever going to happen, really, anytime soon. What with the whole Top Rank versus the PBC division.
You're unbelievable, man.
I know, man, but what do you want from me? I don't make the fucking fights. Let's see what people are saying in the chat room. Precise says Lopez is only building his name. Yeah, it might just be the old call people out and get your name out there trick. You never know. King Dale Clark says, guys, what are your thoughts on Sergio Martinez announcing his comeback earlier today and calling out Canelo? No fucking way. Did he do that? He gets murdered by Canelo with his bad knees. And let me tell you something. If the rumors are true about his lifestyle, those knees have only taken more of a pounding. All right, so I don't know. Coming back at what? He's 40-something right now? No tune-ups? Last time he was in the ring, he got schooled by Cotto. Come on. What the hell? Does he need money, Martinez? Is that what's going on here? Come on, Martinez, don't do it. Just don't do it. Zapata Boxing says Bay Area once again showing her colors. What's going on in the chat room? Get Off Me Son says Lopez is already talking about moving up in weight. Rod Davis says Wrong Visay versus Chocolatito. Jared Duff says, did you guys ever cover David Price getting bitten? I wasn't there on that day of that fight. I haven't broadcast since then, but I think Bucho and Stu and a couple of the other lads brought it up. Apology Man says Loma schools everyone. The only challenge is to move to 140. Fox Strikes. Shout out to Fox Strikes. Says Lopez is getting too much hype too soon. I agree. I mean, and he says, yeah, who has he really beat? I agree. He's been showing the skills, but I think it's really after the Magdaleno fight. And you also have to put a little bit of the blame on the internet. You see all these YouTubers making highlight videos of Lopez looking like a fucking young Mayweather with power. And so people immediately jump to the conclusion that this guy is ready for Lomachenko. I mean, I know people accuse us of being Lomachenko nut huggers here, but come on. You really gonna put this guy up against Lomachenko this soon? Best case scenario, he gives Lomachenko a tough fight. But if he does go in against Lomachenko, then he has to get inside that head of his that he might not win that fight and that it's not a true representation of how good he is because he's just way too green right now for Lomachenko. Anyway, King Dale Clark says, BD, I have no idea. Earlier today, Sergio Martinez made his comeback and was confirmed by Lou DiBella in the tweet and says he wants one tune-up and then Canelo. He's going to get murdered if that happens. Yeah, of course. But then again, like Precise said about Lopez, it might just be that old, let me call this guy out, let me call that guy out so that my name is put out there on the headlines. Zapata says, Boxing Scene says Loma needs Lopez. Boxing Scene. What else? Johnny Boy says, I'm the only guy who thinks Lomachenko Teofimo is a good fight. Loma beats him, but it's a good fight. Yeah, look, listen, let's go back to the old ratings, all right? Let's go to the old 135-pound ratings. Where are the ratings anyway? Okay, I'm looking at the pound-for-pound list. I'm tired of looking at the rings pound-for-pound list. Till they update that motherfucking shit, I don't want to talk about it. What do you think about that? So as you can see, at lightweight, Mikey Garcia, who knows if he's going to come back, and right now his reputation is badly damaged, even though he did get beat by a bigger guy, but nevertheless, whenever you get beaten that conclusively, it's just not a good look. So I don't think we're going to see Garcia Lomachenko. Call me, it's a good fight, but it's not a mega fight, which is what I'm sure Lomachenko is looking forward to. Robert Easter Jr., he's going to be taking on Rances Barthélemy, which I think is going to be a good action fight, but, you know, when Mikey Garcia is outboxing you, in terms of, I'm talking about Easter, you got to wonder how Easter would handle a much better boxer like Lomachenko. Anthony Crolla, he's going to be taking Lomachenko. Luke Campbell, I don't think he's a good fighter, but he's a limited fighter. Jose Pedraza already got beat by Lomachenko. Devin Haney, you tell me what the hell he's doing at number 7 already. And by the way, at least Devin Haney, I thought he was the hothead of the prospects out there, and I thought Shakur Stevenson was the good one. How wrong was I when I finally saw that video of Shakur Stevenson brawling against them. And then the woman was getting the best out of Stevenson. I mean, my goodness. Then you have Teofimo Lopez at number 8, Javier Fortuna at number 9, and Emmanuel Tago, whom I've never seen fight. So you guys get the picture. You guys get the picture. There's not gonna be that many mega fights for Lomachenko out there. He's got the potential Tank Davis fight, and then he's got the Lopez fight. But against Lopez, then if he does beat Lopez, then the whole thing becomes, well, Lopez was way too green. All right. I can see it coming. You guys can see it coming. What do you want from me? Hold on a second. Now I'm thinking what I'm going to do. I'm going to start sending some invites because that's enough of me rambling. But yeah, that was just the whole thing, is because I hadn't spoken in a while, so I just wanted to get that whole bullshit out there. Let me just send a couple. Anybody that wants an invite, give me a shout out, because I don't want the room to get too full. All right, you know what? I think I know. Apology wanted an invite. Apology, come on board. Precise, I don't know if you have time. I'll send you the invite, and either way. I know Johnny Boy's in there. I'm gonna send him an invite as well. And anybody else? Well, you tell me, and I'll send the invite. All right. So I sent a couple of invites out there. You tell me. So, but we can talk about Crawford. I think that's a good fight. The Canelo Wayne thing, that really surprised me. If you guys came in late, we can talk a little bit about that. I'm surprised, by the way. Apparently, yeah, let's go to the pound for pound, ESPN pound for pound. This pound for pound list, I said I wasn't going to talk about the pound for pound list, but hey, I have to do it. They have Errol Spence over Golovkin, Alexander Usyk, and Cizraket Sorongvisai. Oh, and Anthony Joshua. So there goes that ESPN fucking card. Fuck it. I don't want to listen to it. I mean, I don't want to read about it. I don't want to hear about it. Who came up with the fucking ESPN pound for pound list? Was it Fat Dan Rayfield? And I got nothing against the guy because he's fat. I got something against him because apparently he's got bad manners. When he goes to the buffet table at the press conferences, he cuts line. That's what I heard. And there's nothing that catches my ire more than cutting lines. All right? Disgusting. Get your act together, Dan. I'll have you on the podcast and I'll strain you the fuck out. What do you think about that? All right. By the way, I see we got Precise on the line.
Depending upon how you interpret the data.
What's up with all the transvestites in Hollywood, though?
Because if you're a postmodernist and you don't have any standards, you're always going to keep moving the goalpost, and you're never going to stick to your own standards because you don't have any standards.
All right. All right, Precise, are you there?
Hello.
Hey, good to have you on board, man. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. That intro had me shaking my ass.
That's not a visual I want on my mind right now, but good to have you on board, by the way. And by the way, did you, I don't know, I don't think you watch the Joe Rogan podcast, but he had, oh, hold on a second. Michael Stott just donated. Shout out to Michael Stott. And he says, what's up, YouTube boxing community? I love you all. Press 1 for BDA. That's right. Press 1. Why not? Be a good boy and press 1. Shout out to Michael Stott. Shout out to Michael Stott. Thank you again for your contribution. Keeping the gravy train rolling. All right. Like, Precise, I wanted to say, they had Joe Rogan. He had, what's his name? Forrest, fuck. I forgot the name of the MMA guy. And they had some nutritionist on there too. And again, was that?
Forrest Griffith?
Yes, Forrest Griffith and some nutritionist guy that trains MMA fighters. That's his specialty. And he was saying the same thing. Again, Joe Rogan asked him about the keto diet, whether it's good for fighters to be on it. And the guy said, actually, you know what? I should rewatch what he said. But I think he said that it depends. It depends on the situation and on which type of workouts the fighter is doing that day. Now, Precise, this is the second guy. The first one was Chris Algieri. Now this guy. Do these fuckers have an agenda?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
They do. They have their nutrition plans. They have all this shit figured out, and keto is competition. It works for some people. It doesn't work for others. I mean, maybe, you know, to each his own, you know, but to say that it, like point blank period, keto's for this and carbs are for that, no, that's an ignorant, arrogant, and very close-minded approach.
I'll tell you my experience. Like I told you, I did the keto diet for a while. Just right now I'm too much of a lazy fuck. I wake up in the morning and I say, you know what? What's easier than making eggs and bread? So I'm eating fucking bread, even though I shouldn't be. But when I was doing the keto diet and I was doing pretty good fucking workouts at the gym, boxing wise, I never felt that. You know, they talk about the mental fog that you usually get on the first 7 days, first 7-10 days. I never really got it. Never felt like I was weak in there. I don't know if it was a placebo effect or whatever when people feel that mental fog, but I actually felt pretty fucking good. So
yeah, you know, it really depends on the person, how you do it. It probably has to do with exactly what kinds of foods you eat. This whole nutrition isn't like all that simple, you know what I mean? Especially if it's something you haven't experienced. You don't have any experience working with people on this diet. All you know is, you know, the standard fucking lean chicken and kale, whatever the hell they feed these fighters. Oh, by the way, what's his face? Bernard Hopkins just went vegan.
oh, no. Wait a minute. I thought he said I was watching the video. I was watching that. I only saw the headline. Didn't he say he warns people not to go vegan?
He tells fighters not to do it because they're gonna crash. Because he says, from what he's saying, it sounds like it doesn't give you enough of that oomph, basically, that you need as a fighter.
Yeah, you definitely don't, man. You definitely don't. By the way, let me just introduce real quick. We got Johnny Boy and we got Apology on the line, and now I'm stalling here. All right.
Speak of the devil, and it shall appear.
She just wanted the drama and you two to fight over her. That's what women do.
Your punishment must be more severe.
All of you.
Bitches are stupid. I treat them like shit. That's how you get one to eat a dick. Never be sweet to a bitch.
By the way, thank you, gentlemen, for being on. Fucking Jason Bourne in the chat room says BDA eats potato chips and cupcakes all day. That's not fucking true. The Lord says, respect your body as if it was a temple of God itself, and that's what I do. I'm not eating fucking cupcakes. Anyway, I wanted to mention something about that, because I was watching your channel, Precise, and about these vegans, and it started to creep me out a little bit, because when they go vegan for a while, you can look at their faces, even if you don't know that they're vegans, you can just look at the face and go, what's wrong with this person?
They look crazy.
They look like shit too.
It's a gaunt type of look, you know. It's like the face, it's like the skin looks, and the eye sockets.
Besides,
sunk.
is it? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying everything looks sunken in, as if they're. What's the name of that bad guy from Captain America? The red faced guy.
Red Skull.
Yeah, they look like Red Skull.
Besides, is it a body's natural reaction, like telling them they need to eat like meat and stuff, and that's why their face is all like that? It's like the body is expressing in their like facial expression that I need nutrients.
It's because they turn themselves into herbivores, and herbivores are prey, so they're always afraid of being jumped by a carnivore.
But it's, you know what? You know Kevin Smith, right? The Clerks guy? Yeah. He had a heart attack, and a couple of, 2 years ago or something like that, he was a fatso, and he was smoking too, I think, so not good for the heart. So he had his heart attack, really, I think they only gave him like 80% chances that he was going to make it through. So finally he goes to his doctor, and he's with his daughter, who's a vegan apparently, and the doctor tells him, you know what? You could really benefit from a vegan diet. And his daughter goes, yes, I've been telling you this for years. So he goes on a vegan diet, and he says, I've never felt better. But here's my question. Is he feeling better because he cut out all the fucking bullshit food he was eating? I'm talking cupcakes, cake, you know.
Yeah, he probably stopped smoking. He started fucking more, you know. And was he fat before he went vegan?
Yes.
So he's living off the fat. So he's consuming animal foods anyway. He's just not eating all the toxic shit he was eating. And if he's losing weight, then that means he's burning fat. So he's metabolizing animal fat. You know what I mean? Once he runs out of that fat and all the vitamins that are in that fat, well, he's gonna look like fucking Freely the banana whore.
But that's but you can tell when you look at his pictures now, he really well actually this picture doesn't really do it justice because it's a bad angle, like they got a fisheye lens, but you can tell he has that look I told you about, that when somebody goes vegan for too long. You see that photo on the right? I know they're
posted
exaggerating.
it? I don't see it.
Oh, I'm putting it up. It should be appearing right now.
Jesus Christ.
I think that's the angle, but look at the eyes. Oh shit, hold on. Where was it?
You look like a typical millennial.
Ain't that the fucking dude from Jay and Silent Bob?
That's him, yeah. But look at the eyes. I mean, I know he's opening the eyes quite large and it accentuates that, but he really does look feeble and weak and
yeah,
Bro,
he looks beat up.
Bro, he looks like them fucking dudes at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark that got their skull melted off and they open the fucking Covenant or whatever the fuck it was.
What is the science? There's a name for that, right? The science of looking at people's physiology, physiognomy, and telling whether they're in good health or not, right? There's a name for that. And I think
I forget what you're talking about, but like you could look at their wrinkles and they like correspond to various organs in the body. Is that what you're talking about?
No, that's not what I was saying. But essentially, I'm just saying, like you can take a look at the guy and see that there's something wrong with him.
Yeah, Canelo. Yeah, he looks like a crackhead, bro. Exactly. He looks like
they get that crackhead effect going. It's really fucking
BDA,
weird.
not to change. I know y'all are talking. Because I'm getting back in shape myself right now. But I just watched that Shakur Stevenson shit. Yeah, man. What the fuck? They just jumped the kid. It's not. I mean, fuck. He was swinging for the fences like he was in a goddamn like. I would have fucking laced his ass if it was me, bro. Like that. Fuck. You ain't do no. You get no props for that shit. And like you say, the chick got the worst of it.
Yeah, Shakur Stevenson was getting outboxed in the street by a woman. He actually once they had the other guy laid out, he left the chick alone and he went to beat up on the guy that was already on the floor. I mean, look, they were drunk too. That's not an excuse, but I'm just saying they were drunk and that's why he couldn't fight properly. But what the fuck? See, I thought if you would have told me Devin Haney was gonna do something like that, I would have said, yeah, I can expect that from him. But Shakur Stevenson
was drunk?
Yeah.
He's like 17.
Nah, he's 20. He's 21. I mean, actually, look, the video was from last year, I believe. It was taken last year, and it was only released now, if I'm correct in my timeline here. So apparently, he was already 21, or maybe you know what? Let's fact check this motherfucker because we're spreading fake news here. I think he's 21.
Corny, man.
What's that?
No, go ahead. I just said it's corny.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid, but again, he looks bad, man. He's 21. 21.
Okay, so say he was 20. He's still a pro fighter. He needed to jump the dude, like for real, bro.
Like I said, they were fucking him and his friend. Go ahead.
In America.
Go ahead, apology.
In America, I swear you can't drink until like you're 21 or something.
Yeah, it's not like in England where you can drink when you're 15. Over in the United States, you gotta be 21.
Yeah, bro, you're gonna drink when you're 18, regardless. I don't care what fucking country you're in.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
I mean, shit.
Yeah, but if like I agree with you. All I want to say is that if you are a highly touted prospect and you just signed a big deal and you're the future, it's not a good look, man. Smoking, drinking, you gotta like live the life, bro. I'm just saying, especially with what's been happening recently with the likes of Agent Bronner and maybe a little bit the Charlos too. It's just you gotta, you know what I mean? Yeah, you're gonna need to be on your P's and Q's. You're gonna need to be fucking as good as you can be. And drinking, especially at that young age, that's just stupid, man. You have like the opportunity to make millions and. He probably will anyway, but it could be the difference between being one of the best versus being like the best.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get away. You can't get away with that kind of shit no more. Is the thing.
Precise. Do you remember a fighter called what? I think it was called Frankie Gomez. His
Yeah.
last fight was like it
Amazing
was a similar
talent.
thing. Yeah, and then he just got into gang stuff and drinking, and now I don't know where he is.
He ain't shit. That's where he is.
All right, shout out to Michael Stott, just donated. He says, Shakur Stevenson is a criminal, a lethal weapon. Yeah, man, when you're a boxer, and actually, if you look at the fight, the video, I think it was the woman started yapping, and that's how she got her man involved in the fight. But nevertheless, like Precise said, you got the chance to make millions. Don't fucking engage in that type of tomfoolery. And like Apology said, Frankie Gomez, Freddie Roach, I've brought it up in the podcast before. Freddie Roach said that he was the most talented fighter he had on his stable. And when he fought Mauricio Herrera, the way he beat him, like he busted his face up. Imagine you're that good at something. People would kill for that type of talent. Imagine Mickey Ward with that type of talent. Or imagine, Josecito Lopez with that type of talent. They don't have that type of talent. They would kill for it. This fucking guy has it, and he's running around, drinking, smoking. And Shakur Stevenson, man, first of all, he has a chance to make millions. I don't think he's going to make millions. Even if he does stop getting into trouble outside of the ring, I don't think that guy is that great a fighter. Or exciting, or big a puncher. You need to have some of those pizzazz in your arsenal to be making multi-million-dollar mega fights. And I don't think he has it in him.
Who's managing him, though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Uncle Bob. But then again,
Andre Ward. Andre Ward is one of his groomers, so that guy wasn't really shit, and he made millions.
Why you have to use the word grooming? Makes it sound creepy, man.
Well, they're all creepy over there, man. Virgil groomed him, so. Oh.
I don't like that. I don't like the direction in which this conversation is going. But you're right. Yeah.
I apologize, Frankie Gomez. Go ahead, man.
No, but you're right. If there is one fighter that made more money than he should have, it's Andre Ward. I mean, yeah, he got the job done, but in terms of entertainment, the payoff didn't really coincide with his entertainment, the entertainment factor he brought to the table. But anyway,
he got the job done like a fucking crackhead mopping up a liquor store.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so Johnny boy, you said you wanted to get back into shape. I think you wanted to say something about the keto diet. Keto, whatever, however the fuck you call it.
Oh no, I was just saying I've done it before, bro. You gotta get on that turkey bacon, bro. So that's what I be eating and shit in the morning.
Since we're on it, Johnny, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but I'm just concerned as a fellow BDA affiliate because I watch your videos once in a while, and it might be the ciggies, bro. I don't know what it is, but like you got some serious inflammation in your face, bro. You gotta take care of yourself, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been fucking.
Like I ain't calling you fat or anything. I'm not trying to say that. It's just like.
No. It's all good.
It's it's a sign of that something's going on, man. And you young too, so I'm just saying.
Nah, you good, bro. Well, I got fucking crazy asthma and fucking, I had my fucking druggy ears and shit too. So like, it's a little bit of everything.
You don't want to have a grabber by the time you're 30.
No, I'm saying, that's what I'm doing it for, bro.
That's all I'm saying, man. No disrespect.
No. You're good. I appreciate it, Precise. No worries, brother.
Right on. Johnny, you don't want to end up a vegan like Kevin Smith. You're gonna end up looking like that motherfucker. But you know what? You said you have asthma. Do you use the inhaler?
When I need it, fucking. That's why I didn't box as much as I should have when I was a kid, bro. Because yeah,
but that might be causing the inflammation or contributing to the inflammation. Because I think if you're taking the one that's the it's got cortisol or something in there, that might be causing inflammation as well.
Yeah, because I got, like I said, my fucking uncle and them were all black belts, my cousins, and so I was doing that when I was like 12, 13, 14, and then I started, fucking around in the hood and all that kind of bullshit too. So, not to get into a whole thing about that. And yeah, no worries, Precise. I appreciate that, bro. No worries at all.
All right.
And but by the way, BD. By the way, Precise, I think you might know more about this than I do. But if Do you think there's a correlation? Because I've heard this. Is there a correlation between nutrition and asthma?
There could be, yeah. Some of the foods that you eat could be causing like a autoimmune issue or an allergic reaction, or asthma. Like, what is that exactly? You know what I mean? Some people get misdiagnosed, and there definitely could be. There's a lot of toxins in a lot of foods. You know what I mean? And I don't know of any like specific theories or links, but who was it? I forget who it was, but he said, some doctor or somebody famous guy said that all diseases begin in the gut, right? All modern diseases are basically related to our diet. All chronic diseases of like modernity, right? Shit that fucking tribesmen in Africa, they never had, like heart disease, diabetes, asthma, all that stuff that we have these days. It's probably at least in part directly related to the diet. Obviously, pollution plays a part too, and toxins in the air obviously do as well.
No, showing one. Let's take a video off. Hang on. There you go.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Who's that? Who's that
All
guy?
right.
Who's that
You
young
want to say hello,
guy?
Joe? You want to say hello, Joe? I'll take my video off. Do you want to say hello?
Hey.
Hey. We're
Don't
drunk as
tell
fuck,
me-
boys. Yeah.
Hold on a second. Don't tell me you just got done fucking and you're streaming live.
Basically, no, we literally have just got done fucking. Now we're live on the podcast. Like,
All
we're in
right.
bed
Oh,
now.
jeez.
It's called making love when the ladies. are
Type in BDA,
BDA.
type in BDA Boxing on YouTube, and you'll come up with live stream. And there's people probably stagging me off in the chat as we speak, actually. So
All right. So
there you go. That BDA.
What
BDA.
was that
happened to the
apology?
Constitution?
Was
If
that
you go
girls
to,
allowed?
I think is it Pacquiao? Yeah, there you go. Look, 43 watching Pacquiao versus Thurman, Crawford. Yeah, click that one. You want to turn the volume down because obviously people will listen to it on the back like feedback. There you go. Turn the volume down a bit.
all right? All right.
Cameron,
I'm gonna mute you,
yeah,
Cameron. I'm gonna mute yourself, please, while you take care of your issues.
The batter in the chat says Cam equal Arab. Fuck you, Sabar.
All right, and please mute because I can hear the sound coming from the background.
Yeah, we've sorted it now.
All right, I can hear that. Please mute your mic, man. Come on, that's disgusting.
That's not me,
Mute your mic,
BDA.
please.
Come on now.
Come on, man. What are you doing? All
Yeah,
right, all right. he
We
muted
need
the mic.
video.
Yeah, he
Cam
muted the
tells
mic.
it.
Fine.
Yeah, I'm
Pixel, it didn't happen.
Is Pacquiao Thurman official now? Yeah.
No, well, actually, you guys want to get into that, or you want to talk more about nutrition before we?
No. I mean, it's
Oh,
I thought Pacquiao
precise.
Thurman.
Yeah, precise. I've been fucking running around the lake too, jogging a couple miles every morning and shit too, bro. So
All the way around.
Well, no, I mean in spurts, bro. Yeah.
You know what? As in the chat, SD Cameron's back. Like me and
All
Mrs.
right.
are watching this chat. Fuck you,
Cameron,
bro.
forget the chat. Don't worry about it, man. We'll get to them in a minute. I mean, don't.
I swam to Detroit from Lake Michigan, precise.
Johnny, what's going on, brother? Bit drunk right now.
What up, dog?
All right, listen, we got to keep this show in order, guys. Come on. All right, so you've been running around the lake. That's good. Running gets that immune system up. You're working the body, getting some blood streaming throughout the body. That's good, man.
I did one of them 10-yard dashes like big pussy, BDA.
We don't run.
Man, I can't run on the pavement. I have to use the treadmill because that fucks your knees up and your ankles up, man.
Well, my knees are already fucked up, apologies, so it don't matter, bro. It don't matter.
I'm just kind of looking. There's no fights tonight, is there, guys?
Nah, not really.
You know
No,
what? It's funny you say that, Cameron, because like I think I told Bucho this earlier.
I don't know.
We don't got shit this weekend, but next
No,
weekend
there's no
we got.
fights at all, like at all.
Yeah, no. But next weekend we got Lomachenko. The weekend after that's Crawford.
The thing is, like,
hang on, and then the weekend after that is
Right.
Rung Visai Estrada.
Yeah, that's the only good fight. Like, Lomachenko fights a mismatch. We all know that.
All right, shout out to Foulpole Boxing, just donated via the super chat, and he says, "Oh boy," he says Cameron's voice is ass-eating raspy. You see what you started, Cameron?
Like, we need to get off here because my missus is reading the chat. I ain't fucking funny, is it? Like,
all right, Cameron.
She said it was funny.
listen,
I find it fucking hilarious.
Powerpole Boxing, he's the one that sounds like Homer Simpson. Fuck.
Oh boy. I like how this show, every time I try to take control, I try to talk about, we're talking about Johnny Boy and his running, he's starting to get his act together, and all of a sudden the chat room brings us right back to ass eating. I gotta tell you something, you fuckers. Very disappointed. And I'm talking about the chat room.
I don't even eat arse anymore. But no, I don't even do it anymore. Like, honestly, I've never done it to you either, so I don't even see the fucking issue.
Cameron, people in the
Cam's
chat
like,
are
quit
saying,
giving her ideas, man.
Listen, I need to go off the podcast, guys.
It's funny. I'm staying on it.
No, I'm getting off this. I'm getting off the podcast.
yes. Listen to your set your missus straight.
Shit.
There he goes.
If she's still watching, create a Google account, use your email, and then BDA will send you a link.
No, listen, I think it's better this way. It was just getting too disruptive. I think he was drunk a little bit or something.
Yeah, he said he was been drinking.
Yeah. So you were saying, you were saying you can't run on pavement because you get the shin splits? Is that what you get?
I mean, I can, but after a while it hurts my ankles. So I think it's better to use treadmills or run on the beach or something like that.
Well, it's either bad running technique you have or you're too heavy. How much do you weigh?
Right now, I am 98 kilograms, 98.8 kilograms, which is like 215, I think.
Jesus. All right. Sorry about that. Super chat is on fire right now. Michael Stott again donating, and he says, through the super chat, I will raise a super chat if Cam eats ass on the air. I think Michael Stott wants us to get us banned or something from the air. Because if we do that, man, we're gonna get fucked. All right. So 250, and you're about what?
217. 17.
All right, 217, and you're 6 feet something, right?
6'2.5".
Jesus, you're a big dude. Cachnello says his apology. Cachnello is asking if apology is a fat slob. I don't know if you're fat or not, but if you're running out.
Well, I've been losing weight recently, so that's good.
I'll tell you what some of it was, BDA, because I was from 17, 18 till I was 24, bro. I was in real good shape. I'll tell you what some of it, when I got locked up, they put me on that fucking Seroquel, man. That shit, I mean, some of it was me too, but that fucking shit puts on weight. I've seen bitches, I used to see these broads come in and out of rehab. They'd be an 8 when they went in, they'd be a 4 when they come out. I ain't even playing with you neither.
Jeez Louise. What is that? Is that like a antipsychotic drug or something?
That and it puts you to sleep.
Does it get... I want to ask you something. Hold on. All right. Shout out to Revolucion and said, who just donated via the super chat. He says, say this in a Michael Buffer voice, Cameron. The brown eye master Gillon.
I'm back on the show. I'm back on the show now, but literally to talk about boxing only.
All right. Just try not to disrupt because you're interrupting.
No, my missus is keeping quiet now. I'm on it to talk boxing.
Whoa. What did you do to her?
She's alive. Just say hello so you know she's alive. There you go.
Right.
Just wipe it on your boxers, Cam.
Let me tell you something right now. If this gets out of hand, or if I start hearing some dirty stuff, I'm shutting this off right now, man.
I'm on a yellow card.
Yes, this is a good Christian program. I don't want any dirty shenanigans going on. I'll tell you.
Can I just ask you then, what is the actual topic of the show so far?
The topic is we're just talking nutrition right now. We're gonna get to. I want to talk about side. What was it?
Pacquiao.
No, I want to transition from the weight to Canelo versus Jacobs because they did the 30-day weigh-in, and well, anyway, we'll talk about that later on. So that's what's in on the schedule. We'll talk about Pacquiao Thurman, and we'll talk about maybe Crawford Khan. Start getting in some early predictions. So that's about what we're doing right now. Nobody wants to talk about Clarissa Shields, by the way.
The only time I want to see Clarissa Shields ironed out on the canvas. That is it.
You know what I said, BDA? I said I should fuck her just to get the LDBC upset.
Johnny, you'd have to be some seriously desperate slag.
Not even.
That's called taking one for the team. I
was just gonna say precise. I'd take one for the team.
All right, we're gonna get a super chat incoming. Super chat incoming from John Gonzalez. Shout out to John, and he says, "Oh, there we go." We got John Gonzalez. He says, "How tall are you, BDA? 5'2". That's my Boxrec page. It says 5'2", so I'm more like 5'1.5". I'm more like 5'1.5".
That's how tall John Gonzalez fucking grave is for the bodies he's buried in his fucking basement.
It's supposed to be 6 feet, no? Anyway,
no. He's burying little fucking. He's going for the younger girls, isn't he?
No,
Yeah.
it's 5'2" because he chops them in half and eats the bottom bit.
Yeah,
Like, he literally eats the ass, like literally.
No.
To be a midget, you gotta be at least under 4'7", I think.
Anything under 5 foot, right?
Yeah.
You know what you call a broke? You know what you call a broke midget?
What was it?
My missus fucking
short change.
Short change.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
All right, listen, we're gonna get shut down.
Oh, jeez, it's 4 o'clock in it almost over here.
I don't make fun of midgets. In fact, I give them opportunities. Remember that story I told you when I was in university? I gave him some employment for one night, so I'm a good... me and the midgets...
Yeah, I remember that.
Me and the midgets are good.
You still running the strip club business?
First of all, I don't know where you're getting that from. I was never in the strip club business, all right?
I heard that you run a strip club business when you come back from Vietnam.
No. When I got back from Vietnam, I actually had to go into the rehab, so I didn't have time to be running around strip clubs.
Did you remember the story I told you about the midget with when I took to the drag races?
No, yeah. What was the shirt he was wearing?
Rehabs for quitters.
And it's true. It's true. I went to rehab. It's for fucking quitters.
Look my pictures, me and you.
What's that?
Yeah,
All right, listen. Let's get to the main course, which is what I wanted to talk about. All right, hold on a second. Before we do that, because we're gonna get a super chat incoming from Revolucion. Shout out to Revolucion, and he says, "BDA is mascarita sagrada." Search him on YouTube. Yeah, I love that Mexican wrestling, man. They're fucking acrobats, and you gotta give a shout out to the Triple A. It's called.
Boys, don't you think boxing's been a bit dead this year so far?
Hold on a second. Shout out to Revolucion. I'm gonna put Mascarita Sagrada on the.
It's been a bit dead.
I just had a thought. Cameron, did you watch the Fowler Fitzgerald fight? What do you think of it?
I was too busy getting laid, to be fair, to watch that fight that night.
Fuck's sakes. Come on, Cameron, not casual.
Apology. Who really cares about Fowler Fitzgerald? I mean, I know it was a good fight, but that whole card was shit. I mean, David Price got won by getting bitten in the fucking chest. I mean, Cash Ali was too busy sucking on David Price's nipples to even try and win that fight. I mean,
that still was a good fight, man.
He was really like Cash Ali was too busy sucking his nipples. I mean, what are you doing, BD? I'm just kind of watching the show on the TV right now, and I've got to see his Power Rangers on my fucking TV.
It's not a Power Ranger. It's Mascarita Sagrada. Sacred Mask, Sacred Little Mask. He's a wrestler, legendary wrestler from Mexico.
There's rumors going around that I'm 4'9", 5'3". I'm actually 5'11". Let's get this fucking out there.
Cameron, stop trying to make this show about you. And
no. The chat makes it about me. It's all they talk about.
Oh, right.
Okay, let's get back to boxing. Fitzgerald, all that boy.
No, yeah, I'm glad Fitzgerald won because Fowler. I've never been a big fan of Fowler. Like, there was a lot of things going around. Fitzgerald, for me, if he stays professional, if he stays in the game, and he stays in a good thing, I think if Eddie Hearn gets behind him, I mean, Fowler was getting hyped up. I mean, let's be real. Like, he's been hyped up to be this middleweight Carl Froch in the UK.
Yeah, he was, which was just annoying as fuck.
Beating who? A bunch of
Can you guys tell us who you're talking about? I don't even know who you're talking about.
Right. Well, basically, there was a middleweight prospect called Anthony Fowler who was an Olympian in 2016 for the UK. Mm-hmm. And he was getting hyped up. He turned professional a few years back, and he was getting hyped up to be this next middleweight Carl Froch. You know, great chin, offensively, you know, good chin, very good output, offensive, and things like that. He fought Anthony Fitzgerald, who wasn't really well known, but he was a solid fighter. He just wasn't really he didn't really stick to the professional game. And Fowler got in there and got beat by him last weekend on points. So now kind of Fitzgerald's been hyped up as, you know, the guy who could potentially go on and do things. Whereas Fowler, for me, I think Apology will say the same thing. I think anyone who knew boxing in Britain knew that Anthony Fowler wasn't all that. Like, if you watch his fighters against even the guys he fought, like the fucking journeyman he fought, he was getting tagged up. Like, he was getting hit flush on the chin by guys who he shouldn't even be touching him. So I feel like it wasn't really a surprise to most people who knew boxing in the UK that Fitzgerald beat him. I'm not too sure what Apology thinks about that, but I wasn't too surprised that Fitzgerald beat him. So.
Wait, I was surprised they gave it to him because I thought he was going to get robbed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wasn't surprised Fitzgerald won, but the fact that it was a close-ish fight and Fitzgerald got the nod, you know.
I think they're going to do a rematch, and then this time he's not going to get the nod.
It's interesting. That situation that you're talking about reminds me of when DeGale fought George Groves. They were old rivals, and people thought DeGale, they matched them up very early in their careers, both undefeated, and then it turns out that Groves was actually the slightly better fighter. So maybe
What time is it? What time is it in England right now, bro?
It's currently 3:20 in the morning.
Jesus Christ!
We only got back from the club about 1, I'd say. So.
Oh yeah.
Like,
See,
so
I was out last night.
Yeah, we're in bed right now, bro.
Yeah, we saw that and we heard that, and we don't want to hear it again.
No, I'll stand for a bit and we'll head to sleep. But yeah, like I said, Fitzgerald for me, I hope he gets pushed a bit by Matchroom because the win over Fowler is quite a big win for him. Like,
he needs to fight Cheeseman next. That's the fight.
Yeah, that's the fight. Yeah, that's a really good fight. I mean, let's be real. If Fowler beat him, we would have probably got Fowler Cheeseman, right? Like, let's be fair about that.
These fucking names,
so why not stick Fitzgerald in there?
These fucking names: Fowler, Fitzgerald, Cheese.
I mean, let's be real. Like, you guys in the US don't know who the fuck these guys are. There's no really point in talking about it, is there? Like,
I'm not from the US.
I ain't got a fucking clue.
I'm not from the US. I'm a Mexican living in Canada. Come on, get it right.
I mean, it's the same thing. Though. A Mexican's kind of borderline US. So
now you watch it, Cameron. You watch it. And by the way, speaking of, because I want to transition from the weight issues to Canelo versus Jacobs. Did you guys hear that Canelo weighed in for the 30-day weigh-in 168, I believe, and Jacobs came in at 175?
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, that don't surprise me.
Jacobs is a big fucking middleweight, man. Big fucking middleweight.
He's he's like my size. He's like 6 foot even, bro. Yeah.
Right, yeah, he walks around at the 190s, right? Like Jacobs, like early 190s, late 180s.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Because I was
I was expecting Canelo and Jacobs to be at around the same weight on the 30
No,
days
I think Canelo won. I was expecting to.
All right, sorry. All right, hold on a second. Michael Stott just donated. Shout out to Michael. Says, we demand the height of Bucho and weight. Give it. All right, Bucho, full disclosure, Bucho is not 4 feet. He's 6'5", 190 pounds ever since he went vegan. And he's looking like he looks like a taller version of Kevin Smith right now. That's what he looks like. All right.
Bucho's 6'5".
Oh, yeah.
Hell.
You didn't see it on the video? But
no, I mean, it's hard to say, like 6'5", that's fucking tall, man.
Well, 6'5" in Mexican,
Right.
In pesos?
Yeah, in pesos. But anyway, going back to the Canelo versus Jacobs, I thought Canelo and Jacobs were going to be weighing in around the same. I was actually surprised that Jacobs is that much bigger than Canelo.
Don't believe everything you see on boxing scene. That's all.
Here we go.
Johnny, what are you smoking? Rolly or weed or?
Well, hold on. Cameron, I want to stick to this fucking weight issue. Precise.
I just see Johnny smoking on video, that's all.
Look at Canelo. He's like on the scale in his bathroom.
All right, hold on, guys. All right, go ahead, Precise.
You know, it looks to me, I'm looking at the photo, it looks to me like he's in his bathroom and the WBC love him, you know. How strict is, is this real? Is this? I don't know. I don't think so. For Jacobs, for sure. Jacobs has to make the weight. Does Canelo? Come on. You think he does?
Can we talk about how Canelo has a rehydration clause? Like, that's a bitch move, in my opinion.
You know what? It's Canelo Alvarez all over though, right? Like, I mean, I'd rather see this fight at 168. Honestly, well, I know it's all the belts, but I think this fight. I mean, they both dehydrate themselves to get to 160. I don't see a point in this fight being a 160 man. But
Well, that's a
your
boxing
point in the
business.
rehydration clause. It's just stupid. Like, let
Well,
Jacob's
rehydrate him.
going to rehydrate to like 190 pounds on fight night. You know?
So if you're pound for pound, you should still beat him. Like,
Yeah,
Triple
I mean,
G beat him.
Canelo will still beat him. Canelo will stop him, man. But
no, but my point is, I just don't like. It's deep to me. It's a Divas thing because in other fights, this didn't happen. Like Jacobs was allowed to rehydrate what he wanted to.
Yeah.
But apology, isn't that a little bit of a? We're missing the point too. Not to defend Canelo, who does get to do whatever he wants, but doesn't it make sense to put a weight clause in there, considering that Jacobs walks around at 190 and uses his weight advantage in there?
Listen, who are we comparing Canelo to? Triple G, right? And Triple G let his fighters fight whatever they want. He basically caved to their demands, if you think about it, just to get them in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And if Canelo wins after the fight, he'll say something, or people will say how he did it better, or they'll compare it to the Triple G fight, but they'll fucking keep mum about the fact that he had that rehydration clause, right? It's not going to be the same fighter, but they're going to act like it is the same fighter.
You know who else you did this? Floyd with Marquez. So I'm starting to see a pattern between Canelo and Floyd, which I don't like.
You won't sleep.
I think it makes sense, man. I think it makes sense that to have that rehydration clause in there. All right, I'm eating the fucking. I think it makes sense to have a. Yes.
Mute.
Yeah, I did. I think it makes a certain amount of sense. I mean, look, Jacobs is trying to get an advantage himself. Jacobs trying to get an advantage himself in there by coming in at 80 something the day of the fight. Canelo should, I think it makes sense. Use the stipulation that says that he can't come in at that weight. But then again, imagine if Canelo says, "Hey, you can't come in over, 10 pounds overweight or something the day of the fight," and then he comes in 10 pounds overweight, and he has to pay Jacobs like $100K or something. That would be
the
justice.
WBC will pull something where he will not pay it or something like that.
Well, not even that. I mean, remember? Fuck.
Cameron, mute your shit, bro.
I already muted him. What? Could you guys still hear him?
We still can. Yeah, in the hangout, we still can hear him.
Yeah.
No, what the fuck? I thought I mute.
Yeah, I think it mutes for the live stream, but not for in the hangouts.
No,
I think they were fucking.
Jesus
Christ.
Probably.
It was pillow talking.
All right, that's really unprofessional, man. That's a yellow card right there. And by the way, if I muted him, you shouldn't. You guys, nobody should have been able to hear him. I couldn't hear it either. I mean, I couldn't hear it.
You're the only one that didn't hear him.
Yeah, I heard the whole thing, BD.
You know what? Maybe it was Jesus Christ putting his hands over my ears so that I didn't hear that filth. But yeah, come on, Cameron, that's really fucking unprofessional. That's a yellow card, man. I'm taking the rinse. I'm saying yellow card, man. You can't come in here. I've said it before. You can't come in here wasted or fucking. All right? No fucking and drinking while you're on the hangout. Michael Stott agrees with me. He says, don't mute Cam doing the magic. Don't mute. No, I will mute
BDA.
him. Yes.
BDA, the couple of times I got wasted, well, a few times I got wasted, it was always when we were on for like 4.5 hours and I would just be sitting there, drink,
Yeah, but this is unprofessional. And the Fight Scout says, give him a brown card. I'll give him a brown card and I'll smear it all over his fucking face. That's what I'm going to do. Listen, this show is it's sacrilege. What's the word I'm looking for? It's holy. That's what I'm trying to say here. All right?
Sacrilegious?
Yes.
Sacramento.
Sacramento.
Oh.
Are you saying Sacramento?
Yeah.
Anyway, fuck it. What I'm saying is we got to respect Butch. Sacred. No, that's not the word. I'm going to look up the word later on. But listen, fuckers, the point is this.
It's Sacramento.
Shut up. The point is this. The point is this. Like Butch said, we got the Constitution up because we're trying to get this show smooth. Look at this. We're 5 people, and already I was having trouble keeping it together. And not because I'm not going to say everybody was equally to blame, but nevertheless, we do have to make an effort because there's people listening out there. So we got to keep people out there in mind. The audience. Sacrosanct. Jared Duffy, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Sacrosanct. I don't know why I chose that word instead of just saying sacred, like Precise said. But then again, that's the asshole I am.
That sounds like a made-up word.
It's not a made-up word.
Because you're sanctimonious.
That's right, and pretentious too. Don't forget that. But listen, the point is this.
And politically correct.
Yes, politically correct. We all know that. I wanted to say, what was the fight where one guy came in, stepped on the scale for about like 2 seconds, and then stepped right off, and the commission allowed it to be official? Fuck. Anybody in the chat room or in the hangout, if you remember? Because yeah, they can do that. Those type of shenanigans. They can pull off.
Was it in boxing?
Yes, it was in boxing. It was in boxing. Yeah.
It might have been. Was it? What's his name? The guy who fought. Lebedev. Was it the guy who fought Lebedev?
Guillermo Jones, or which one are you talking about?
Yeah, Guillermo Jones. Was it him?
Maybe. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that there's all sorts of way to fuck with the weights, and if the WBC are in love with Canelo, as they usually are with any Mexican star, you can bet your ass that they're gonna pull off some sort of tricks here. By the way, Bucho in the chat room keeps telling me to ask Precise what Spence has to do to be considered pound for pound. Bucho, why are you obsessed with the pound for pound thing? I thought we were gonna talk about pound for pound anymore. But anyway, let's get Precise in on this, and then we'll continue talking about Canelo versus Jacobs later on. But Precise, I don't know why Bucho's obsessed with this, but he wants to know what you think Spence has to do to be considered top three pound for pound.
Top 3?
Yeah.
Ooh, he'd have to prove that he's the man at 147, move up to 154, and beat like at least the top 2 guy, and then we could put him top 5. But it also obviously depends on what everybody else is doing. But that would put him in the conversation for top 5, I think, if he, he doesn't have to collect all the belts, obviously, but if he becomes the man where we know that the best 135 pounder is Lomachenko, right? If he becomes that guy at 147 and then wins a belt from like a credible, legit belt at 154, I think he's in the conversation.
That's interesting. So even if he wipes out the welterweight division, it's still not enough in your eyes.
I mean, look, if he gets in the ring with Crawford and he annihilates him, right? Like he did Mikey, then yeah, you can't obviously how they win, right? These guys. If he knocks out Thurman and wins fucking 9 rounds from Terrence Crawford and makes it look easy, then yeah, he's in a fucking conversation. Come on, you know what I mean? But I don't think that he would do that.
Johnny Boy,
if he were to become the man.
Johnny Boy, what do you think about that?
Well, me and Bucho was talking about it earlier, but I said that's pretty much what I said. Yeah, I recognize kind of said similar shit too. I was like, if he beat like Crawford, and obviously Precise, like how Precise says how they beat him, sure, but like if he beat like Crawford, Porter, and then maybe like another guy, then won up to 154 and won a belt.
All right, so there you have it. He sort of agrees on that one. Apology, what about you, man?
To clean out the division.
Yeah, it's
and
cleaning
then
up.
Move up.
So cleaning up the division for you as well it's not enough.
No, you need to clean up and move up.
Whoa! All right, so that's pretty.
BDA. I mean, if it wipes everybody out at 147, then I'd be fine with that too.
Okay. Oh, all right. So you. Right, Michael Stott. Shout out to Michael Stott. Says Precise one at King Dale's Clark says you aren't spiritual. Who the fuck is Precise at King Dale's Clark? Anyway, shout out to Michael Stott. I don't quite get your message, but shout out to you. Apologies, says Michael.
He's saying Kingsdale Clark said Precise is not spiritual.
I agree.
That's the guy
well,
in the
actually,
chat.
no, wait a minute. I disagree with that. The guy was fucking sacrificing kittens in that video. So he must be spiritual if he's he must believe in something if he's making sacrifices.
Oh, who killed cats?
Yeah,
No.
who?
What?
Who sacrificed cats?
Precise.
Come on, I was making dinner, bro. Be nice.
I'm the cat. I'm the cat man, bro. I've had kittens since I was a little kid. I'll kill that motherfucker.
They call you the Catman or the Scatman? Because you're into
Cat.
scat.
There's pussy everywhere.
That's right. All right, so you guys got pretty high standards, man. That just wiping out the welterweight division is not enough unless he does it in compelling manner or really solidifies himself by wiping out the competition. I'm still not convinced he can make it through Terence Crawford, but anyway, that's the one. You know what? Let's transition to that one. Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman. That's a fight that's being talked about for July, I believe. I don't know how far the negotiations are, and I don't know if how serious they are, but they are talking about that fight. We can talk about the politics later on about why Keith Thurman is receiving this shot, but let's stick to the fight itself. If Keith Thurman shows up in the same form that he showed us against Porter and against Danny Garcia, not the version that fought Josecito Lopez.
You know what, BDA? It's funny you say that, man.
Poison.
Were you done talking? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna. I just watched. I just DVR'd it last night actually at my mom's place. I fucking DVR'd Thurman and the Argentine kid Diego Chavez, and that was in like 2012 or 2013. So that was tip top Thurman. When he was like 25 or whatever, or 24, and I was watching that, and that Chavez kid gave him a fucking pretty good run for his money there too. Like, so I mean, honestly, if the fight were to happen, Pacquiao, like I say, if Pacquiao was these guys' age, he'd fucking destroy all these welterweights right now, including Crawford and Spence. Okay, now they're good fights for him because he's 40 and past his prime, but. So I think it'd be a good fight, though, honestly, if it does happen at this moment.
Yeah, that Chavez fight, somebody was saying that in a forum that I was reading, and they were saying that if you look at that fight, Thurman actually fought a little bit more aggressively back then. And somebody made the argument that it was that fight that turned him into a more cautious counterpuncher. Now, my argument is that he's fighting more off the back foot because his opposition is getting better. So he's not going to fight Sean Porter and Danny Garcia by trying to walk him down. He's going to make them go to him. That's his game. But yeah, he definitely... I mean, if you compare how Bradley did against Chavez or Brandon Rios, who had to turn it into a fucking... I mean, it just turned into a dirty fight.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that was disgusting. But yeah, Thurman actually did it clean against Chavez, knocked the fucker out, or stopped him rather. So Thurman definitely has good punching power, good hand speed. The problem, of course, is coming into this fight. An apology, I want to get your thoughts on this. Keith Thurman didn't look all that hot against Lopez in his last fight. Is that partly because of the layoff? Is it the injury? Is he just not that good? Did Lopez come in at 150%, and that's why Thurman looked bad? What are your thoughts on this?
It's a number of things, but I think the main thing is I think he lacks confidence in himself, because I feel like if he probably feels if he goes all out, he probably breaks something or get knocked out himself. So I think he's lacking confidence. And if he can get that back, he could put up a good fight against Pacquiao, but I don't see that. I see him fighting exactly the same way, circling with his hands down and then getting beat up.
That's interesting. You would say that about the confidence, because he's got a good resume. Garcia, Porter, those two wins right there, he must be confident. But you mentioned that the defensive liabilities. Butcher keeps talking about that, how Lopez was catching him backing straight up with right hands. That's a big no-no. I don't understand why Thurman keeps doing that. I mean, it seems like he's been getting away with his physical gifts. And finally, he came back, and those physical gifts were a little bit rusty, and you saw him getting tagged up a little bit more. Precise, I want to ask you, in regards to Thurman, do you think he's a confident fighter? And do you think that confidence plus his physical tools plus Pacquiao's degradation as a 40-year-old man can get Thurman the win in this one?
He's a confident man till you push his shit in.
Well, isn't that true of everybody? Do you think Pacquiao's gonna push his shit in?
No, I think Pacquiao. I think it's gonna be a close, competitive, controversial, corrupt fight. That's what I think. You know, Pacquiao's old, man, and Thurman. If there's anything he has, it's fucking legs, and Pacquiao's losing his. So Thurman's gonna do the whole hocus pocus thing, abracadabra. He's gonna make it look convincing enough for noobs. I don't think Pacquiao knocks him out, basically is what I'm saying, which is what he has to do.
All right, shout out to King Bucho donating. I don't even know why he's donating. I think he must have pressed a button by mistake, but shout out to King Bucho donating
does that go back to you guys? What's
exactly,
the point?
that's what I'm saying. I think he's
And then YouTube gets like 35%.
Exactly. Exactly.
He just donated to YouTube.
Just donated to YouTube. Next time, Bucho, buy a Gillette razor, so you'll be contributing to somebody else that you don't want to contribute to. Listen, Precise, you made a good point about Thurman's smoke and mirrors act, because it is sometimes a bit of a smoke and mirrors act. The thing I hate about Thurman is, and I gotta tell you, I gotta be honest about this. That's what I always try to do here on this podcast. I disagreed with people when we were talking about Thurman Porter. I thought Thurman beat Porter. But then I've been rewatching the fight lately and really watching it close because I want to make a video about it. I actually have Porter on the last rewatch I did. I actually have Porter winning that fight. And one thing I didn't appreciate was Keith Thurman running away in the last round as if he had the fight in the bag. This guy, there's something missing there for Keith Thurman. I don't know what it is.
He don't got it. He don't got it all, man. He's not that skillful. He's athletic and he's flashy and he could knock out bums real well, but he's just not that skillful. Someone who's his size and technically sound picks him apart.
I think Precise just made a good point. You know, if Pacquiao just doesn't come in here, even if he doesn't knock him out, but if he doesn't just go in there and fucking wreck Keith Thurman, we might see another fucking controversial decision, bro. Because I mean, look, two of them judges had the Pacquiao-Broner fight 8-4, bro. And I mean, I gave Broner 1 round in that whole fucking fight.
That's a good point. That's a fucking good point right there. And I'll tell you what, talking about smoke and mirrors, Thurman has good footwork. If he wants to, he can easily go 12 rounds against Pacquiao if he just goes on the defensive. But now, also you got to take into consideration Thurman is a better fighter, at least in my estimation. He's a better fighter than Broner. So if he can put in that footwork and mix it in with a couple of punches here and there, some flashiness, that just might be enough with the right judges to get him the win. You never know.
Yeah, because Pacquiao's 40.
Exactly. This is the other thing I was thinking about. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think Pacquiao right now, other than Spence, might just be the most dangerous welterweight in the world right now because of the fact that he still has his speed. He definitely still has his power. That's the last thing that goes. And he's got the best resume at welterweight right now. Or at least the most experienced. He's the most experienced fighter. That's a lethal combination right there.
And he's fighting often, unlike these PBC guys.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. I mean, you got to keep that into consideration. You got to keep... And here's the other thing. If Pacquiao can go to the body against Thurman, which is what I think he should have done against Broner. I know, easier said than done. But the motherfucker didn't try to go to get body against Broner. At least not with any hurts.
Yeah, he did.
He hurt him a couple times with the body.
He was crushing his body. Pacquiao, what Pacquiao does, he throws that left hand from outside. He doesn't really like left hook to the body, or when he's up close, he doesn't go to the body. He just throws it from distance. He was hitting him to the body quite a bit.
But I'm talking about hooks.
No, he's not really that kind of guy. When he gets up close to you, he got you on the ropes. He's just headhunting for the most.
He shoots that straight left in there and extends himself when he was hitting Broner the body a couple of times.
Yeah, that's true.
I gave him a few rounds mostly on his body work.
Those
Yeah,
straight.
Broner curled over like he was about to have a baby a couple of times.
Yeah, those
He had a
straights
little
to the
tiny
body.
brown baby come out the rear.
Oh, now wait a
So
minute.
Pacquiao's a good right hook to the body. I mean, left hook to the body, but he doesn't use it much.
Exactly. Though that right hook to the body. That's how he beat Morales in the rematch. He started cranking out that right hook to the body and really wore poor Eric Morales down. I guess it's about positioning too. He has to be in the right position, and he's not the best at gauging the distance. You know, he'll let that 1-2 fly, and if it lands, it lands, and if it doesn't, he just barges through the other guy. But I think it would serve him well to go to the body. Then again, at 40, what is he now? 40? I don't know. Then again, those 1-2,
isn't he?
was that
42? Isn't he?
Yeah, 42. Well, I don't know. I think 41. Anyway, the point is this: those 1-2s could be enough to set up something upstairs, which is what he usually does. He usually uses those 1-2s downstairs. But the thing is also is Keith Thurman. How vulnerable is he to the body? Because remember, he was hurt by Porter and by Luis Colasso. So, is it a question of him being weak to the body, him being too not being cautious enough, or what do you guys think?
BDA, before anyone answers that, someone's calling you out in the chat. I think it's King Clark's calling out in the chat.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to respond to that or not, but I'm just.
I don't know what he say.
He's basically saying that you know nothing, you don't know shit about boxing. That's what
okay. Kendall Clark is the guy who's saying you need to be spiritual. That's the way forward. He's talking about out-of-body experiences, yet he feels the need to be negative with that comment. Let me tell you something right now. If you are really a spiritual person, you shield yourself away from making useless negative comments towards other people. So that's my advice to Kendall Clark. If he is as spiritual as he believes he is, he should stick to trying to raise his positive vibes as opposed to trying to push those negative vibes outward and towards me. Because I don't go for that type of stuff. All right? What else? All right, so the body. Is Keith Thurman weak to the body?
No, I ain't going to be on long. Hon, no. Oh, my bad.
Don't tell me you're pulling a Cameron on us.
No. You ain't going to see me rolling around in bed with my fucking Austin Powers chest hair. Don't worry about it.
All right, so the body. Is Keith Thurman weak to the body?
He is a little skinny, I gotta say. Not skinny, but he just doesn't have like great muscle development. Maybe there's not a lot there in the midsection. I don't know.
Is he a vegan?
I won't say like maybe. I mean, now
looks
that
like
he's all
one.
spiritual and shit. I won't say he's weak because he's never even been down to the body. He's been hurt to the body, but like, if you fight enough, you're gonna get hurt. But it's his body's suspect. How about that? It's suspect. And another thing I wanted to say about this fight is what makes it perhaps a little more interesting is that he's not that much bigger than Pacquiao, actually. He only has like a couple inches of reach and maybe 2 inches of height. So Pacquiao likes to fight. When guys are his size, he looks a lot better than these long guys that just stay away and run for dear life.
Yeah, that's why I said him and Mikey would be good at this point because him and Mikey are close to the same size, man.
You know what? You're right. According to BoxRec, Keith Thurman is 5'7.5". Not really that tall a guy. Or even for a welterweight. And Pacquiao, they have him. All right, so if Keith Thurman, they have him listed as 5'7.5", we have to assume he's more like 5'7". And Pacquiao, he's got to be like 5'6.5", maybe even 5'6". So you're right. They're right about the same weight. And by the way, they have Keith Thurman having a 69-inch reach. And I think Pacquiao has longer arms than that, if I'm correct.
Boxer has him 67. But
Well, 69 was always my favorite number. But
mine was 71. It's like the 69, but with two fingers up the... Anyway, the point is this. Why? I didn't say no. Listen, the point is this.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah. I didn't come up with it. Somebody in the industry came up with it a long time ago. The point is this. Keith Thurman and Pacquiao are about the same size. I'm still surprised, man, at how fast Pacquiao can still be. at his age. It's got to be genetic, obviously, but I do wonder, man, what else is keeping his hand speed up to par, if you know what I mean? What type of vitamins is he taking?
Maybe he's training. Like he does lots of explosive and sprinting and stuff like that.
That's the thing. You know what? That brings up another good point here about Pacquiao's calves. The guys we've talked about it before, right? The Asian calves, those legendary Asian calves. That's what gives him the power, and they seem to be naturally developed. I don't think he actually was squatting or anything when he was younger, but he did have problems with his calves in the past. Remember against Timothy Bradley, a couple of hours before the fight, he was actually trying to loosen them up.
Yeah, they froze up on him.
Yeah. I don't know if that was... Yeah, go ahead.
So Rungvisai's got the same fucking calves, BDA, and he hits like a fucking bull, that guy.
But is that the problem? I mean, does Rungvisai have the same problem, or...
No, I don't know. I was just saying he's got the same kind of calves. He's got the big ass calves for a little dude. You know?
Right. And by the way, hold on a second. There's something going in the chat room. People are going after King Dale Clark, and he's going after me, saying that I'm mouthing boxers. I mean, I think you guys can vouch for me, but you don't have to. But I'm the guy that always defends the boxers. I'm the guy that always gives them the benefit of the doubt, even when they have a shitty performance. So I don't know what this Dale Clark is going on about. Like I said, if you're a spiritual person and an honest person, you don't put out lies or unfounded statements before you do your research. And I think you get the wrong impression about me there, King Dale Clark. I suggest you do a little bit more meditation.
I don't think you understand what it is that I do.
Another casino
reference. I'm gonna walk up in the bank and nice first thing in the morning after my coffee, and if you don't have my money, I'm gonna split your fucking head open and
I'll go to jail, because that's what I do. That's my business. All right. So what was I saying about... Pacquiao's calves. He had some problem. Dr. Margaret Goodman said that it was because... could have been potassium deficiency. Or deficit, I should say. Potassium deficit. So, I don't know. Who knows? I haven't heard those problems from Pacquiao anymore. But the question... The reason why I bring up the goddamn calves and the potassium is because he's 40 years old. He does train pretty fucking hard when he trains and when he fights. I gotta wonder how his body's holding up right now, because he's going to be fighting a guy that's, 10, 15 years younger than him. Well, actually not 15, but 10 years younger, at least 10 years younger. And when a guy is as fresh as Thurman and you're 41 and it takes you a little bit more time in the early rounds to get going, those early rounds could make the difference, especially if, like you guys are saying, there's some shenanigans there with the judges. Apology, are you still in the chat room? Engaging people? Apology, are you there? All right.
I can't see shit, BDA. I'm on my phone. So.
Oh, yeah, you can't check the chat room at the same time, huh?
No, I can't. This one I'm on the computer.
All right, hold on a second, because Bucho told me there's a way I can... Fuck, how
Go to the YouTube app, and then you can check out the comments, Johnny boy.
I can put the chat room here. Hold on a second. So that every time I talk, there you go. Every time I talk, you don't see my... Yeah, so every time I talk, you don't see my logo. You actually just see the chat room there.
Yeah, I was going to ask, because like I was going to say, sometimes I can see him on my phone, sometimes I can't. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, King Della Clark. You can come talk about me, bro. I'm the one who talks shit about Floyd and Browner in the PBC all the time. You can talk about me if you want to. I'll roast your ass.
He's just trying to get a rise out of you. Come on, don't worry about it. But that's what. Listen, yeah, that's the thing about boxers is we give them credit here. I don't understand why people would say that we're not giving credit. But anyway, the point is this. Oh, by the way, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Dervyachenko is going to be fighting Kolke today. I think they already fought. I don't know. I'm going to watch the fight tomorrow. But that's a fucking good fight right there. It might be the best fight of the night compared to everything else, all the scraps we got today.
Yeah, it is. Was there even any fights on today?
Yeah, Munguia, Clarissa Shields.
Oh, Oh shit, I'm not at my girl's crib because I always watch the DAZN's fights at my girl's crib because she's got the smart TV, bro. I gotta watch them on the computer when I'm at my mom's.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know
Yeah.
what a smart TV is, but
Well, I'm fucking like you know I'm internet retarded, BDA, but
now we don't use
she's over here with me. That's who I was just talking to. But like you know,
we don't use the R word here at BDA Boxing. Let me just tell you that
what
right
did I
now.
say?
You said the R
retarded.
word.
Oh, sorry.
Oh man, I gotta be honest with you, man. This PC BDA character is getting tiresome. It takes me a lot of energy to keep up with it. Also, people are saying bare knuckle fights, says BK in the chat room. I don't know. They don't tend to make for entertaining. Have you seen the bare knuckle fights, Johnny Boy? The new event that they get going.
No, I haven't. I keep seeing the commercials and shit for them, but I haven't watched them. I mean, I want to see fucking little Mike the Situation fight Conor McGregor's buddy that he just slapped in a bare knuckle fight.
Mike the Situation. Yeah, that Paulie Malignaggi, man, he's a fucking loose cannon, man, slapping the guy. Because apparently the guy said something about boxers. He said that boxing is a safe sport or safer sport than MMA, and that seemed to set Paulie off. Which really
that is kind of disrespectful, though. But yeah,
but
bro, here's the thing, man. With the whole MMA versus boxing thing, which neither one of them is a fucking street fight, and I've been in plenty of fucking street fights before, and I used to box a bit, you know, and like neither one of them is a street fight, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one. So all these dudes that talk about, oh, MMA's real fighting and all this other stupid shit. It might be a little bit closer to it, but neither one of them's a fucking street fight, bro. Neither one.
You hit the nail on the head right there, man. It's as close to a street fight as we're going to get. But like you said, a real street fight, there's no referee. You can bite, you can eye gouge, you can do small joint manipulations. Essentially, you can do whatever the fuck you want. And if you knock the other guy out, you can keep on stomping him. So yeah, MMA is a more complete sport than boxing, but let's not make it out to be like it's a street fight in there.
Well in BDA and I've never seen. I mean, you can like gorilla hit these dudes in the UFC, but like I've never seen one of these guys get fucking pummeled like how Edward Norton did Blonde Face on Fight Club, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Neither one of them is a street fight, bro. And I'm not trying to talk like I'm a badass. Like, I've gotten my ass kicked in street fights before too, but like, you know, neither one of them's a fucking street fight, bro. No.
Nah, yeah. I mean, it's a fucking cock measuring contest. And Paulie Malignaggi goes into that sphere of, don't disrespect my boxing, bro. Don't disrespect do your own thing. Don't worry about what people say. And both sports take a lot of dedication and craft to become good at it and become the best at it. So I wouldn't worry. But again, it's just a way to drum up more interest for a business that is starting to come on the way up, meaning the bare knuckle events. They want this type of stuff. It has to sell. There has to be, because I don't think the demand is all that great. I mean, the bare knuckle fights, they're not even that fun because they don't throw that many shots.
My cousin BDA, my older cousin, he's a little guy. He's like 5'6", 5'7". He's like a little fucking. He's part Italian, part Rican, so you know he's a fucking hothead. But he's like 40, bro, and he still does the kickboxing shit. And like this dude will beat, like he does this shit Recognize used to do or does, or, you know, and he like this month, like I've seen him fight in the fucking, you know, in tournaments and shit.
The fuck is that?
I don't know what the fuck is that. Ain't me.
All right, what the fuck? All right, it's gone now. It sounded like fucking Cameron eating out his girlfriend. Anyway, go ahead.
Sounded like when they loaded the guns up on Matrix there.
All right, so your uncle he does kickboxing, you said?
My cousin, my older cousin, but
sorry.
he's a little guy, but like I've seen this dude get in a street fight, and he just fucking put the dude that, like Like he's a little Jet Li motherfucker, bro. Like a little Italian Jet Li dude. Like bro. I've seen him street fight. He just fucking. We got into something with some dude at the gas station one time, and he just broke this fucker's arm, bro. Like snapped it in half, like some God.
All right,
He watches the van and all the tapes.
He watches.
You said he's like recognized. He does what recognized does. So while he's fighting at the gas station, who's holding down the shot?
Yeah.
All right. Now hold on a second. Hold on a second. Yeah, I don't know what that is. The fucking sound comes out of nowhere.
I think it's Precise sacrificing his cats again.
Oh, now listen. I don't want to that type of talk. I don't. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was trying to figure out if it was from my end.
No, it's Precise.
Was it me?
Yeah,
I think it is, man.
Yeah, it's you, Precise.
I just got my phone wet. All right, let me dry it off.
Sounds like a fucking Gatling gun going off there.
But you said Precise. I mean, reverse. Not reverse. Sorry, my God. Recognize. He's into that sort of stuff too, like combat. He says he was boxing and now he trains. I think his training consists more of just going around bodegas, breaking up fights, because he never really talks about the boxing aspect of it. But yeah, we do need to do a more boxing-centric show with Jimmy and Recognize and just talk about the boxing aspect of it. Maybe give the youngins out there some advice. But yeah, Paulie Malignaggi's got a chip on his shoulder, man. Because I don't know if you know this, but he didn't have the best upbringing in the world. He used to get into a lot of street fights. He was always trying to prove something to his stepfather, because his stepfather just felt like he could beat him and his brother up since he was feeding them. So he had that. Apparently, that gave him the right to beat them up. So definitely, Paulie has a chip on his shoulder.
He's from that same neighborhood that fucking Sammy the Bull's from. I forget.
No kidding.
Yeah,
no kidding.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, right? But which part of Brooklyn?
Yeah, I don't know. You gotta ask Recognize shit. I'm not from out there, bro.
All right. Yeah, I saw that. Was it a 2020 documentary about Sammy the Bull Gravano? I think it was a 2020. I forget, but he was. He actually
we talked about this, BDA. He says when they were interviewing the daughters.
Oh yeah. No, but I was gonna say.
They're like, Sammy the Bull, he's a piece of shit. Well, they said your father, and your father went along on these hits. Oh no, that's not true.
They said that I think it was Diane Sawyer. She said those guys were part of the mafia. Well, not the mafia, but this thing of ours. They knew what they were getting into. Well, shout out to Michael Stott. Super chat contribution again from Michael, and he says that's Cameron's tongue doing its work. Let it ride, baby. Shout out to Michael Stott for that comment. But yeah, so she was essentially calling the daughters out and saying, "Listen, your parents they knew what they were getting into," and so the daughters were like, "No, they weren't in the mob. Like, come on, own up to it."
Bullshit. Yeah.
But what I was going to say was that Sammy the Bull Gravano, apparently he was in the same gym that Teddy Atlas was at one point, and supposedly Teddy Atlas was explaining to a fighter how to control fear. And apparently Sammy the Bull overheard this. And he said, well, what are you talking about? And Teddy Atlas says, well, when guys are about to fight, they feel fear. And Sammy the Bull said, I never feel fear. And I thought, I don't know, that struck me as a bit of a poser move. Somebody trying to act too hard, if you know what I mean. Because, I know he's a hitman and he's probably a sociopath and he probably doesn't feel fear the same way normal people do. But it just, I don't know. What do you think, Johnny Boy? You think he was trying to pose a little bit?
He's exaggerating. He's exaggerating. He's exaggerating.
Right. I think so too. He was a bit of a fatso too. Apparently, he was trying to lose weight. That's why he went into boxing. Sammy the Bull, I'm talking about, not Teddy Atlas.
Yeah, there was another dude who got into it because he was another mob guy that got into it because he was chubby. I forget who the fuck it was. It was another New York dude. I can't remember though. It wasn't a Chicago guy.
Speaking of New York, where the fuck is Recognize? He usually comes in at night, right? He works late shifts.
He was on
Surprised he's not here
earlier
right
with me and Bucho and Official.
Right. Yeah, but I'm surprised he's not here now. He should be in here. Recognize if you're listening, and I know you're listening, get your ass in here before it's too late, because we are going to be signing off in a couple of minutes maybe. But in between, we do have Revolucion on the line. Revolucion, are you there? Revolucion, Revolucion, can you hear me? All right, so I guess he's
I just had to shut off. Yeah, I was listening to the computer in the background. I had to turn it off.
All right, fantastic.
Can y'all hear
What's
me?
up, bro? What's up, my dude?
Yeah, we can hear you,
man,
but
nothing. Just chilling. Got the night off.
oh, nothing like the night off.
Yeah, I'm about to put my headphones in.
By the way, we also seem to be having some issues here with the connection, so maybe that's why you might hear us breaking up a little bit, and that's why we're gonna sign out soon anyway. I think we covered the little that there was to cover already. We talked about Canelo versus Jacobs and how Jacobs outweighs Canelo right now by 8 pounds. We also got some feedback from Apology, Johnny Boy, and Precise, who don't believe, or they're not exactly sure that maybe those scales are 100% accurate. We also talked about Amir Khan. We talked about, what else did we talk about? Anyway, why are we going through the list? You know what we talked about. I'm just trying to find out something else what we can talk about before we depart.
Crawford Khan, BDA.
You know what? Let's start with that. Let's get some official predictions right now. Early predictions. Who wants to go first? Come on.
Give me a minute. Let somebody else go first, BDA.
I'll get in on that. I'm gonna say knockout round 9 for Crawford.
Round 9. That sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I think Khan's gonna be rangy long enough just to keep him off him, but he's gonna get greedy at some point and get clipped. That'll be that. I feel bad because Khan's got talent too. Khan's got talent, but I think he just passed the post. I think it's too late.
You think Crawford is gonna time his rhythm? Because Khan always usually just throws like straight. So you think he's gonna get timed?
Yeah, it could happen. That's how I see it happening. Although who's it? Khan is getting trained by Joe Goosen, and I do like Joe Goosen quite a bit. So we'll see if there could be a new game plan implemented. Because Goosen is definitely the guy who can keep you calm, keep you focused. I was just watching
I have to correct you. I have to correct you on that. I have to correct you. I thought he was being trained by Goosen too until I read just today that Khan apparently is back with Virgil Hunter for this fight.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Goosen's voice, man. I was looking forward to that. Now, Amir, you gotta relax. No more flurries. Just gotta stay focused.
You gotta fucking get inside on him now.
Yeah, that's fucking Joe Goosen is one of the most underrated trainers out there, and he could make for a great psychologist, man. Because the way he talks, it really pumps you up. It makes you believe in yourself. He's like, watch the Shane Mosley Winky Wright rematch. The way
I just watched that 2 days ago.
Yeah, exactly. Right. See, remember when he was telling Shane Mosley like, "We're just getting started. You're still you're not even going at 100% right now, and you're doing this well. So imagine when we go at 100%. It's like, fuck, man. He was making me believe that I could beat Winky Wright. That's how motivational he is.
I'm watching fucking.
All right, Michael Stott giving us his life savings, and he says, I think Khan and Crawford goes 12, 116, 112. So he's got an 8-4 for Crawford, I believe. Are you saying, Michael, are you saying Crawford beats Khan or Khan beats Crawford? Let us know in the chat room. And shout out to Michael again. Thanks for your contribution. Sorry, Johnny Boy, you were saying?
No, I was just going to say I'm watching fucking Tyson and James Tillis right now, actually.
I thought you were going to watch Clarissa Shields versus Hammer.
Oh, no, like I say, I'll give her a stabbing though, just to piss the LDBC.
Oh, by the
Yo,
way,
John Boy,
What's
go
up?
on James Tillis's Wikipedia and look at the picture they got for him. I just
Oh, I
actually
know.
looked at it like
He
15
looks
minutes.
like he looks like fucking a black Bobby Bacala. That guy.
Yeah.
hey, by the way, before we continue, we got. Oh, do we have Pavel on the line? Yeah, we got Pavel on the line. Hold on a second.
Antisocial personality disorder. Behaviorally is someone who does not have a conscience, does not have remorse, does not feel a sense of guilt.
This man's dangerous. He is dangerous.
All right.
Pavel.
That's amazing.
I gotta say, Pavel, sorry I couldn't show you the MILF at the bar last night, dog. I was trying to show, it was too crowded. But you said the name that I was thinking of. It was fucking Julia Ann. That's why, because I listened to the show this morning when I was running around the lake.
Yeah, I told you, listen to the gourmet.
Listen to the what?
All right.
Hey, Pavel, how are you doing, man?
Whatever. Pretty good. How about yourself?
Just pretty good. Come on.
Yeah, well, I'm telling the fucking truth. I wish it would be better, but hey, I can do with what I can, huh?
You know what you need to do? You need to take a nice vacation to good old warm tropical Wakanda. That's what you need to do.
I wish I could that, going to the paradise, but it's only a fiction, unfortunately. I wish it existed in real life.
You know where
do you live at, Pavel?
In Poland.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Why do you have to say "oh shit" when he says Poland?
No, I was just like,
because
oh,
he's speaking the truth.
No. I didn't even. I was just. I say that.
Oh jeez.
Like, oh shit.
Apology.
Is Poland that bad?
Apology. What's going on? Your microphone sounds overmodulated. It sounds overmodulated. Oh yeah, I have to mute you. Sorry, man.
Overstimulated like Cameron's tongue.
No, I said overmodulated.
I'm just playing.
All right.
I didn't know you were Polish, Pavel.
No, that's fine.
No, but yeah, you do sound. Again, we do have to tell our viewers that it's 4 a.m. right now in Poland.
It's 5 a.m.
Oh, jeez. So, do you wake up at 5 or do you stay up at night? Is that what's going on?
No, I don't really have anything better to do, so I guess I stay awake.
I see.
Fucking Count Draculicky.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a whole bunch of Polish and Serbians and Ukrainians and all kinds of shit at that Usyk fight in Chicago, because there's a lot of them in Chicago, bro.
Would not surprise me.
I've heard there's
Fucking Galata lived here for a while back in the day, actually.
Is that where he got
used to be pretty big, I guess.
Is that where he got arrested, Johnny Boy?
Yeah, I believe so. I think so. Yeah, he got arrested at a hotel for like smacking a bitch or something.
Jesus. Hey,
yeah. I think, I don't remember, so don't take my word on that one.
But. Yeah, him and Pulev would be good friends.
Well, but Galata won't be in any trouble. I've heard that his wife is a lawyer, so.
Is that right?
Well, I said that Clarissa Shields should fight
hell.
Pulev.
Yeah.
Clarissa Shields should fight Pulev for feminist rights.
Yeah, maybe, huh? And by the way, apology.
How that sound now?
It sounds awful. I think it's your check your cable. It's either your cable or your jack input is fucked up or something. You sound overmodulated, which means like this. That's how you sound like. And in my limited experience, it might be some connection issues. Jack, your connector jack, headphone jack is fucked.
I thought MGTOWs would have a good jack input.
I would have thought so too, man, but evidently not the case. Hold on a second. I want to try to recreate how. I'm going to put some distortion on my voice here. Hello? How's everybody doing over there? All right, see, that's how it could sound.
Good Lord.
Good Lord. Hey, good Lord.
Getting weird tonight.
Hey, Lord. Hey, good 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 Lord. I'm trying to play with some sound effects here. Hold on a second. Hello, how's everybody doing? This is the BDA.
You sound like the fucking killer from Scream on that one.
Yeah, you sound
is
like
a-
a fucking Thanos or something.
This is the message from the BDA Association. All those who dare to oppose us shall be overthrown. Bow before you,
Was that-
overlords. All right.
BDA borrowed that one from the fucking Los Santos.
Oh, that's a good one. Man. All right, let's go. Oh boy. Apology. What's going on? I thought you had your microphone issues all sorted out, and this is.
Hello.
No, it sounds awful, man. It sounds awful.
Apology. Enough's enough.
Give it up, man. It's over. It's over. Apology. Let's
just
go to
don't
the.
have-
Hold on.
Get a few super chats in, man.
Let's.
You
let's
had a
get.
good run tonight.
You know what? Let's raise some money for apologies
Sorry, yo.
and some new
You
headphones.
just don't
for
have the
apology.
makings of a varsity athlete. That's all.
Yo, how about now?
Oh, now hold on a second. Let me boost your volume up. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, hello.
No, you sound cool. You sound good. You sound good now. What was the problem? Just out of curiosity.
Oh no, I just took my mic out. I'm talking through my phone now.
When did you just took your cock out or mic out?
Mic.
Okay, mic. Okay, I sorry, heard wrong. Let's go to
Of
the
course
chat.
you heard cock, you bad man.
I can't hear very well. That's why I thought you said cock. Listen, let's go to the chat room and stop talking about cocks for a second. Pavel says, no, hold on. Oh boy. Shout out to John Gonzalez who says more distorted BDA in the near future. You really want to hear more distorted BDA? What would you guys rather hear? Distorted BDA or more Christian wisdom from good old religious BDA? You tell me. Let me know in the chat room.
Distorted.
Okay, come on. Cachnello says, keep that BDA. The Quack says, he better working on managing his output. Once he gasses, he's done. I saw videos of Haney working with Porter as well, and he was getting in on him. Porter wasn't really throwing back. I always assumed that Porter, based on his performances, was in very good shape. And then Rasclot says, Haney, from what I heard, doesn't really hold back in sparring, which is why Floyd stopped sparring him, because Floyd made him pay dearly trying to be tough. From what I heard, Floyd beat on Haney pretty bad. Yeah, I've seen videos. Come on, what the fuck? Hold on a second.
What the fuck is that?
That's Apology Man calling for some reason. All right. I from the videos that I've seen, Devin Haney tends to go a little bit too hard in sparring, even against guys that aren't as good as him, or clearly not as good as him, and he just takes it out on them as if it's a real fucking fight. I think he needs to control himself, or he needs to, I don't know, get a better trainer.
No matter how good the trainer is, if the fighter has got, some personal issues, then like a big ego, then no one will tame him.
You know what, Pavel?
Virgil Hunter will.
Yeah, he will whisper some soft shit into his ear, and yeah.
Pavel, just come out and say it. If a fighter is a retard, no trainer can help him. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, if you have some good physical qualities, then you can counterpart that to some degree. But I mean, in the long run, guys who have, that iron will type of mentality, stoic, like Golovkin or Kovalev. I don't want to hype them up again, but it's just it seems to me that those stable mentally fighters, they achieve more long-term success. I guess it's pretty self-explanatory, but
yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, especially since we were talking earlier about Shakur Stevenson, who's a contemporary of Devin Haney. And
did you talk about him?
A little bit.
Okay.
Well, what do you want to say? Go ahead, speak your mind.
No, I said my piece about him yesterday. Yeah, he's decent prospect fighting cans. but he is acting like he's the hot shit because he won like those nationals and some international amateur tournaments, which don't really transfer to professional scene as I've seen his fights. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. They're already trying to call him the next Mayweather, which is
I mean, look, as far as I remember, he was offered straight, even before the Olympics, he was offered like 200,000 by some promotional company or some other big kind of money, and he turned it down because he wanted to be the golden boy, right?
Right.
And yeah, the next Andre Ward, right? The protege. But the thing is, his dream crumbled when Robesi Ramirez pieced him up in the ring, fair and square. He lost that fight, and he was weeping like a child in front of the cameras in live broadcast straight after the fight, or something like that. It was very, and I was watching it live when I was in Ireland, and I was like thinking to myself, this is a cringe fest. Like just by this, I don't know if I'm gonna watch the guy like in the press conferences anymore. And you know, you can play the devil's advocate and say, "Oh, he's just a kid." You know, don't be too hard on a kid. He's not a man yet. But did Golovkin cry when he lost in 2004? Did Amir Khan cried when he lost to Mark Gillon? I mean, come on.
Well, he's, for fuck's sake, he's 22 years old or whatever. Yeah, that's grown man, young man, but grown man.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Shakur Stevenson needs to get his act together. That's for sure. And if he's getting into street fights in gas stations or in front of the 7-Eleven, that's not good news for his dedication as a fighter.
You know what? I'm not writing him off. He just needs to stop with this ghetto shit, and that's all, really.
And not just him.
The talent is there. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Like I
Davis?
said, oh, go ahead, Revolution.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, on top of that, what Davis got to calm it down. You've seen in the past Adrian Broner doing bullshit. There's just a lot of ghetto-ness, and you can see a lot of the Eastern European dudes, Lomachenkos, they're cut from a totally different cloth, man. You don't see them doing any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Fucking, they got discipline.
Yeah.
You know, I was watching some Russian interview. Well, Russian interview. It was Golovkin interview, but he spoke in Russian, right? And I always like those interviews better because he's able to, I don't know, express himself more clearly in his native tongue. But anyways, I remember there was an instance that interviewer told him that, okay, have you seen this fight? And Golovkin said, yeah. And the interviewer brought a specific moment from that fight, and he told that, oh, this guy was standing in between rounds to intimidate the other guy who was sitting in the corner to the opposite of him, right?
Okay.
So, oh, look, I'm not tired and all that shit. Well, Golovkin responded to that, well, why don't you sit down and show me something better in the next round?
Oh.
You know?
That's a good answer.
It's just, right? This kind of shows you not which mentality is better, but how people differ from each other. I guess different.
I tell you what, Shakur better not be trying to win no belt in the streets, bro. Because if that's how he's fighting in the streets, he's gonna get fucking ragdolled.
That's right. That's absolutely correct, right there, man.
And what weight class is that boy in?
130,
like
126 or 130.
Yeah.
Super bantamweight?
No, not super bantamweight. He's either 130, 135, I think.
Oh, okay.
He's not a big dude. But that being said, he needs to, like Johnny Boy said, he needs to tighten up his street fighting game because that type of shit doesn't cut it. It might cut it against a drunk girl and a drunk guy, but he steps up in there against a guy like Recognize the Matrix, he used to be the king of Brooklyn. Boy, he's gonna get some trouble. I tell you that much right now.
BDA, like I say, I see it all the time, bro. When I go out, these young dudes, fucking 19, 20, 21, 22, start popping off at the bar, and end up getting their face stomped by a 30-year-old who ain't having it, bro. I'm
exactly.
telling you, dog. Like,
by the way, Rascal in the chat room says, I would slam Shakur right on his head. Facts. I wouldn't doubt it. If you're 160, you can easily pick him up if he's 130, 135 and just slam in on his fucking melon.
Bro, I'm
Yeah.
260 and 6 foot. I would have fucking slammed him.
Jesus, you can bicep curl his ass.
Yeah, I would have probably thrown him through the fucking window of that gas station.
Anyway, all of that to say, I agree with Pavel what he said about if you're a professional fighter, excuse me, if you're a professional fighter or even an amateur fighter, because that's what I've been seeing now with the amateur fighters here in Canada, they're actually engaging in a war of words before their fights, and these are amateurs. They're not being paid. They're not being, they don't have to promote the event or anything, and they're getting into Twitter beefs with each other. And I'm thinking, look, at the end of the night, you're going to be fighting each other. That's what matters, not what happened outside the ring. And one of the clearest examples was Khabib, however you say his last name, against Conor McGregor in the UFC. McGregor was all talk, blah, 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 blah. The other guy just, he didn't seem to want to engage into it. He did talk back a little bit, but that's because, he felt like he had to. And then at the end of the night, he ended up fucking piecing McGregor up. So if somebody's talking shit to you, you can get to shut them up in the ring, and that's all that matters. You don't have to do this back and forth, jowling, as I like to call it.
I got into a scrap back in the day with this cat that I don't know if y'all watch the MMA shit, but that dude Ben Rothwell, the heavyweight guy, one of the kids that used to train at his gym, I got into a scrap with him in a fucking parking lot, and we went about even up, and the cops came and.
It's a good little story. Have you guys ever seen that video from I forget the guy's name. I'm gonna pull him up, but he's a dude. He's a MMA fighter, and the only reason why he fights is because he wants to make money for his real passion, which is to dress up like a superhero and patrol the streets. And I don't know if you guys have heard about him. I'm trying to find him. Oh yeah, this is the guy. Phoenix Jones, that's his name. He's an MMA fighter. I'm gonna put the picture up on the screen right there. There he goes.
Joaquin Phoenix?
Nah, Phoenix Jones. And what he does is he dresses up like a superhero and he patrols the streets. Now, he's not getting into fights in the streets. What he's trying to do is he's trying to mediate the nightlife and break up fights, call cabs for drunk people, shit like that. But there's one video where he did get into a fight. Because he broke up a scuffle, and he put his hands on a guy, and the guy, he just wanted to fight. So he starts following the superhero guy. The superhero guy says, "Listen, I broke up the fight. I'm out of here." But the other guy's like, "No, you touch me, dude. You're not allowed to touch me. You're not a cop." So the superhero tries to do the right thing, walks away, but the other guy and his friends start following him. So finally, the superhero calls the cops. Cops show up. The other guy's still talking shit. This superhero guy, he won't have it. So they're in the state of Washington, okay? And apparently in Washington there's something called mutual combat law, which means that if you and I agree to fight, we can fight and the cops can't do anything about it. So the cops are standing right there in front of those two guys, and they pull out the mutual combat clause, and so the cops go, "All right, go at it, fellas." And so they start fighting. And this fucking superhero guy, like I said, he's an MMA fighter. He didn't even throw a punch until the end. All he did was he leg kicked the shit out of the other guy. All it took was like about 4 or 5 kicks. The other guy collapsed, and that's when the MMA guy pulled out the punches. So that's, be careful with these MMA guys because they might not use their wrestling skills on you. All they gotta do is kick you in the fucking chins, and you're going down. And by the way,
and all you have to use against MMA guys is basic boxing footwork and ankles, just like Holly Holm versus Ronda Rousey, and they're fucking helpless.
I don't know if it's as simple as that, Pavel, but I did watch that video.
I'm just generalizing.
I did watch that video of Don Fry against... Remember that Dog the Bounty Hunter guy? He used to hang around with some Hawaiian guy who used to be a boxer, and he got into a fight with Don Fry, the MMA fighter. and the boxer pieced him up nice and well. So
Ooh.
you do have a point. If you're a boxer and you can catch the MMA guy first, yeah, you're gonna probably have an advantage with hands.
The thing is, my take on it is this: it's easier to transition to MMA having a good striking background, but it's much harder to transition from, I don't know, if you're training wrestling or some shit like that, and you want to go over boxing, right?
Right.
Then it's just like you're kind of helpless because there's much bigger talent pool. And I mean, just in flyweight, I think in flyweight alone in boxing, there are more competitors than in a whole UFC combined. So there's that.
You know what?
Wow.
I don't have the exact numbers, but I think you might be right because
Neither one of them is a street fight, bro. Me and BDA were just.
But hold on, I just want to say real quick that in terms of the talent pool, flyweight it might have that deeper talent pool than the UFC, like you said, Pavel, because in the lower weights you do have Mexicans. First of all, Latin America, they got a whole bunch of little guys there. Then you count Africa. Then you count Asia. I mean, that's 3 big old continents right there. Yes, I wouldn't doubt if the talent pool is deeper than the whole UFC. Would not surprise me.
Okay, well,
Good point.
who do you have in the UFC? You have Americans, Brazilians, some Russians,
some British coming up.
Yeah, British guys from Chechnya, guys from some South Koreans, and that's fucking all.
Yeah. Yeah, the Japanese, they don't do it anymore. They don't, I mean, they stay in Japan. They don't even come over here anymore.
Yeah, they do more brutal stuff, their pride stuff, you know?
Yeah. Well, what's it called now? Do they still do Dream or is it One FC?
I think it's still Dream, if I'm not mistaken.
A bunch of Yakuza run motherfuckers, man.
Yeah, crazy people.
It is. It was run by the Yakuza. The guy, the former president of Pride, I think, ended up, they found him in a closet, hanging from the closet. I mean, come on, man. It's just, you want to get up.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what happened.
There was the one Yakuza boss from over there. He got out of jail and fucking killed the guy who testified against him with the fucking katana.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do.
It's some fucking Kill Bill shit. He went over there and fucking sliced homeboy with a katana, bro.
Jeez. You know what? When I was little, I wanted to go to Japan, but now as I get older, I start thinking, you know what? Fuck Japan. I'm staying away from that country.
No, they're racist motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Too.
No. Whoa.
Worse than the LDBC, Pavel?
Not sure about that, but I think they have their racist views based on some logical facts.
Well, I'm looking at that. I'm looking at that right now. I'm looking at that right now. The JDBC, the Japanese, the boxing dance arena. Have you guys heard about that?
Oh my god!
I tried looking at.
It should be was a good Japanese animal.
Anime?
An enema.
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon.
Hajime no Ippo.
DDBC. The Dragon Den.
Can you guys recommend an anime with a lot of like sex and tentacle shit and all that? Just for research.
There was one my boy was watching, and it was some creepy shit, man. The bitch was getting raped with tentacles, and there was no music. It was just like camera noises.
Whoa.
I
came in the right time.
Yeah, you're gonna hear some noises from him.
I came in the right time. Nice tentacle.
Just squishy poking noises, and a bitch going like, And
yeah, like that's what Bucho always says. Bucho always says like, these fucking Japanese when you fuck them, it sounds like they're crying. It's disturbing, man.
That's the way to do it. That's the only way to do it.
That's what John Gonzalez in the chat room says.
That's the only way to do it.
Yeah, John Gonzalez in the chat room says, I'm sure the Japs and I would get along just fine. First of all, what do you gotta call the Japs? It's Japanese. Come on.
Any country that got fucked over really hard in war, their porn is like really twisted. Japan got the bombs dropped. Germany got picked apart with the Treaty of Versailles, and they got the 2 worst porns out of any countries.
Absolutely.
Speaking of, yeah, Pavel, you cut off before. Yeah, it was Julianne working at the bar. That's who was
Yeah.
Whoa. The Julianne or a girl that looked like Julianne?
No, I said it looked. I was like, man, I was asking yesterday when we were doing the show. I was like, what's that blonde porn bitch's name? And they were all like, Nina Hartley. I'm like, no, she's 70, bro. I was like, what's the other one and shit, and But like I say, man, I ever don't have a girlfriend, I'm gonna have to go get that one real quick.
Yeah, it's like, drinking a water on the desert. When you go to the civilization, you don't brag about it.
Oh, you guys are brutal. Let me tell you that right now.
By the way, as my father says, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you get your appetite. Just go home to eat.
True.
All right. Now let me tell you something, guys. We do have to go, but I'm glad you guys came on board. It's been a while since we had done. Bucho rolled up like two podcasts in a row. So I want to thank you guys for joining us. We will be doing another one soon, hopefully. I have to edit and chop up the thing we did on Rabbit. And I would suggest everybody get Rabbit and have a look at that. Well, I mean, you don't need to look, have a Rabbit account to look at what we're going to post. We're going to post it on BDA Live. So check that out. And I want to thank everybody again who was in the Rabbit.
BDA, can I ask a quick question?
Yes, please.
Pavel, how's Poland compared to the West? Is it as bad?
In what metrics do you want to measure?
Like the feminism, the men being
pussies.
weak,
Yeah, I mean,
being pussies.
Look, Poland is like a beacon between the East and the West, and it's like the feminism shit is slowly transferring to the politics of Poland, but not in a really rapid manner. We certainly don't have that crazy feminist thing that you guys have over here, using different pronouns and "zer" and all that shit. But if you're speaking, if you can get a good woman in Poland, look, it's all the same all around the world. Don't get your hopes up.
What about, are they teaching kids to be like gay and trans over there?
Oh no! No. Yeah, it's very good, actually.
Did you just say that's good?
Yeah, it's good they're not teaching them to be trans.
Nah, yeah, that type of close.
They're teaching those kids to make their own decisions, I guess.
I disagree. They're turning them into bigots. That's what I think.
Oh, yeah.
All right, fellas. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too, guys.
And by the way, Bucho says that. By the way, Bucho says that Stu has a video coming up, so we'll keep an eye out for that one. We're gonna be posting it on BDA Live. I mean, not BDA Live, BDA, the main channel. We're also gonna have. What's that?
Just one thing. I'm sorry to interject, but are we gonna have some things planned on to the future, like Rabbit stuff and all that?
Yes. Wait a minute. Were you weren't on the last Rabbit, were you?
Unfortunately, I missed the inaugural and next sessions, so I wasn't on any.
Well, you know what I'm gonna do, because the last one we did, it was very impromptu, last minute. So what we're gonna try to do is we're not gonna try. We're gonna do it. We're gonna schedule it so that everybody can come in and or at least know when we're doing it, so it's not last minute.
I mean, I don't want to push anything on you. I know you guys have tight schedules, so.
Well, listen, I was editing the last one. I just edited one chunk, and it was pretty fucking good, pretty fucking funny, especially once you,
Yeah, and BDA, I wanted to ask you about Jeopardy.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about making it, setting it up for you guys when I get time.
The Jeopardy, I've had that. I've been working on that behind the scenes. Apologies. Send me a message and we can come up with some more ideas, man. Is Revolutions Trivia TKO?
Okay.
So send me a message, man.
Yeah, of course.
It's a good nickname.
All right, so Apology and Revolution are gonna be working on the trivia show. Come up with some questions. I was looking at some really fucking hard questions that I didn't even know the answer to, and I said nobody's gonna fucking get this.
Yo, BDA, I got good categories. We should do BDA quotes, like who said it. Like, get some obscure quotes and which panelists said it.
You know what? We should do a boxing. That's a good idea. And I think you also just sparked up another idea. We're gonna do a boxing trivia show, but I think we should also do a Bible quote show. It's, you know, try to a Bible trivia, a Bible trivia show. Why not? Make
Ezekiel
everybody.
1:3.
Yeah, Ezekiel, Proverbs, Corinthians. Why not? The whole gamut. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us. I always appreciate your input. This show wouldn't be the same without you. So thanks a lot for that.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
hope
you.
you had.
Bid you adieu.
Yeah, bid you adieu. And hopefully you guys come back for the next one. Now, I'm going to give a shout out to everybody in the chat room. By the way, don't forget to check us out on Spreaker. Don't forget to check us out on iTunes. Which other platform do we have? Spreaker, iTunes. Check us out on Patreon, our Patreon page, or PayPal page. Don't forget to check out BDA Live, our our channel for the, what am I talking about here? For the videos, film analysis that we do. Don't forget also, you can check us out, like I said, on PayPal. We'll be doing the rabbit shows. Fuck, I'm trying to stall here because I'm trying to look for the list of everybody that donated to the video super chat. Where is that list anyway? It's supposed to be here. Ah, there we go. All right, I got it propped up. Don't worry about it. I know what I'm doing here. Might not seem like it, fellas, but I know what I'm doing. All right. So I want to thank everybody that joined us and listened to us. Hope you guys had fun. I sure as hell did. King Butch is sending me some fucking... Hold on a second. Oh, no, I thought Butch was sending me a message. My goodness gracious. I think it's about time we ended, fellas. What do you say? I want to give a shout out to everybody that donated. Michael Stott donated a whole bunch of times. Foul Boxing, Revolucion, John Gonzalez. So shout out to to everybody that donated. I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. You keep the gravy train rolling so that we can continue doing shows and upgrading for you guys. Want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat room. Fight Scout, Michael Stott, Carneval de la Info, Apology Man, Canelo, Rod Davis was in there as well. John Gonzalez, BK, Fight Scout, Grievous. Who else was in there? Yeah, like I said, Rod Davis. Many more. Can't name them all. Jamie Conan, who says that David Haney is just a bully. The Quags. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Want to give a shout out to Smoke Dugan as well. And we will see you in the next one, folks. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night. Take it easy. Don't stay up too late. Oh yeah, I forgot to say thanks to Cameron too. A bit disruptive, but thanks nevertheless.